Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We're tonight's entertainment.
Welcome to Born to Watch, where three old mates, an ex-video shop owner, an industry insider, and a black belt in 80s kung fu movies put their mastery to the test on movies that changed the world.
Hey there, fellow watchers. I'm Whitey, and it's that time of the week again. It's another episode of Born to Watch, and this is a special one. It's our first superhero movie. And what a place to start. 2 hours and 32 minutes, and the first comic book movie to reach the $1 billion mark. This movie is epic in every proportion. The middle movie of arguably the best superhero trilogy of all time. The Dark Knight changed the way comic book movies were perceived. Its bleak, realistic landscape was something completely different to what we'd seen before in any Batman movie before it. Let's meet the team. Dan, up there on the land, how are you, mate?
Yeah, I don't know that I agree with anything you just said in your opening statement, but this is going to be an interesting podcast. Hello, F-Wits. Glad to be here. I'm on the red wines tonight. Shout out to Cat Amongst the Pigeons. Thank you. The sponsor for this evening. And yeah, look out, you two.
Okay, looking forward to that. And we have a special guest with us in the Panic Room today. You'll know him from amazing podcasts as The Goonies.
Yep.
And The Raid.
Yep.
And another one as well, I think, somewhere along the line.
About 6 or 7.
Yeah, there's a few of them.
Yeah.
Damo from Vicky Point.
Well, I couldn't resist because you rang me and you made me feel like Maverick from Top Gun.
I need you.
Well, it was, you heard yourself say, look, Gow's out, we need you on the podcast. But that's not what I heard. I heard Wood's been hit, Voodoo 1, Wood's been hit. We've lost Hollywood. I repeat, we've lost Hollywood. Launch Maverick on Alert 5.
Yeah.
I'm here.
Yeah. And mate, we couldn't do this one without you. As Gow is traveling, business comes first apparently, but he is also helping Morgs with his progression into the academy for 2024.
Right.
Yeah, I'm all pumped again for 2024. I know I've been a bit dark on those academy knobs recently, but hey, I think I can do more good for us if I'm actually on the inside rather than chucking bombs from the outside. So thank you, G-Man, and yeah, thank you, Damo.
Well, I think a sack of potatoes could do the Academy more good because I think
There's
it
been
just showed how irrelevant they are. And their ratings are like 5% of the country. So 95% of people could not give a shit.
Yeah,
no, it's
not
a
great. Real shame. It was I remember when we were kids, it was a big thing to watch the Academy Awards and yeah, a really big deal. But I agree, it's a little farcical at the moment. Damo, before we begin, I'm stoked to have you here. I'm not sure about your past, I guess. I've known you for a long time, but I really didn't know you in your rooting years. Were you a mad rooter like the G-Man? Like, did you put away some tens like he did? Like, I guess I'm saying, have we got a like replacement tonight? I know that the G was a dragon slayer. How did you go with the ladies?
No, I think I had more knockbacks than anyone else on the entire planet. I would, you know,
what was your go? What was it? Were you throwing lines at him?
Yeah, I had lots of lines, terrible lines. No. Hey, do you think I look like Keanu Reeves? When I clearly didn't. And they go, what? You know, look jack shit like him. And yeah, so again, lots of knockbacks. Look, every now and then, you know, you'd be lucky, but
win the lotto.
Where was your hunting ground? Where was your hunting ground? Like, where did you would you peel a weak one from the herd?
DY,
How good was Jades?
DY, mainly, or even sometimes I went into sort of Mostman. You know,
the Mostman. What was that nightclub in Mostman?
Bridgepoint Tavern.
Bridgepoint Tavern.
And there was some other one with a piano bar in there.
Oh,
Minsky's.
It's still there. It's still there.
Yeah, but there was a nightclub component to it as well.
Yeah.
But no, generally found myself going home alone. Yeah.
Okay,
Excellent.
well done. Thank you for that, Macaulay Culkin. Look, the hype was real from the start for The Dark Knight. Batman Begins may have started this new Batman universe, but here in Australia, it was obviously Heath Ledger's performance and the rumours stemming from that had everyone talking about this movie. And the fact that he unfortunately passed before the release of it, it was the movie you had to see.
Yeah, it's I think that just a sort of a little bit of a sentimental, emotional part of it was like, oh heck, we have to go and see his swan song.
Yeah, and he was tipped as an Oscar performance from the start, and probably a quite a worthy winner.
Oh, for sure,
Yeah.
without a doubt.
And obviously, it didn't hurt that it was a posthumous award.
Yeah, it's sort of like, like a lot of the academies that we talked about. It's there's normally some sort of agenda or something else, and sometimes it has nothing to do with the performance. In this case, I think it was, but the fact that it was posthumously awarded, it sort of enhanced it a bit more and made it like it was impossible not to give it to
Yeah,
him.
of course. But I think it was thoroughly.
He was
deserved.
only 28. 28.
Yeah,
I know.
He's he burned bright. He burned bright, that kid. There's no doubt.
Ridiculous. No, extremely sad. But yeah, that was definitely a highlight to revisit Heath's performance.
Absolutely. So, gents, 2008. When did we first see The Dark Knight? We'll start with you, guest.
Guest. I saw it when it came on DVD because that was the time. I think I had 3 kids under the age of 7 or 8.
We had the video shop.
I had the video shop, so I didn't go to the movies.
Yeah,
and I waited for everything to come. And
tight ass.
Yeah, well, there was no opportunity for me to go to
I agree. Yeah.
the movies. It was just impossible. And yeah, obviously with the video shop too, like I had a normal sort of 9 to 5 job anyway, and then I'd work in the video shop. But yeah, it was definitely on the DVD when it came out. And I can't actually remember when I first watched it or what I first thought about it. But that would have been it.
Yeah, absolutely. What about you, Dan?
I feel like I would have gone to the movies. Did I go with you to see this?
I think we did. Not the first time that I saw it, but we did see this at the movies together. Yeah, without a doubt.
Yeah. No, I remember it being an event for sure, and I think that the Heath Ledger performance was definitely talked about. I remember I was definitely still way on the periphery of the academy back there, but there definitely a few of the boys reached out. Clint Eastwood, I remember he reached out to me. He was like, "What's the go with this Heath Ledger kid?" Yeah, it was big. He doesn't say a lot, Clint, but he's a pretty funny dude. So
profound when he speaks.
Wow. He is, and I just said, "Get fucked, watch it yourself," and that was good.
Fair enough.
Yeah, look, I saw this. This was a solo on my own. It was a 9 a.m. session at Warriewood Cinema in the Grand Theatre.
Roy Mustakis.
On my own. Yeah. The first session it was available. There was not a midnight screening. I was there.
Yep.
And I walked out of it going, oh my God, it's like one of the greatest things I've ever seen.
Yeah.
And was just blown away by how good this movie was. And then when I would have gone, I think it would have been that weekend we went down and seen it again. So, yeah, I was all over this from the start. And then with the video shop, I think I bought 65 copies of this movie.
Oh, my God, yeah.
And it rented its tits off.
Well, it came with huge marketing as well, didn't it?
It was massive. Massive.
Look, your store was probably way bigger than mine, so we might have got about 15, which is massive for us.
Yeah.
But as I was talking about with the marketing, and I will just say that we got a lot of posters.
Yes.
And there was 3 posters. The one with the motorbike, there was one with Heath, and there was one with the fire on the building in the back symbol. Yeah. So I have bought in.
Wow.
And I'm going to do it as a little bit of a giveaway, a poster of The Dark Knight with Heath Ledger in it. So I'll get you to stick it on.
It'll be on Instagram. You can reach out to us on Instagram,
and then make a comment if you want it or whatever, or make something funny. And whoever we think's the best comment, will get you dressed, and we'll send you the poster with Heath Ledger on it. So,
mate, you're the guest that keeps on giving.
Well, I just thought, well, I've got a few of them, and I think someone might like it. It's pretty cool. It's a pretty cool poster.
I thought you couldn't have topped the whole Top Gun monologue that you did just earlier.
I will just say too. So, like all the past winners of Born to Watch, like there's a whole heap of them, like Whitman, Price, Haddad. They've won all these wonderful things. So I just want to have this Dark Knight poster going into that list of previous Born to Watch winners.
Absolutely. Yeah. Don't look too hard for those 3.
As former industry professionals, video shop owners, may they rest in peace. What other memorabilia did you guys collect? I know, Matt, you've got a pretty substantial Blu-ray collection. Was there anything else, Damo, that you kept from the good times?
Oh, I've got a heap of posters. Lots of posters still at home. I just thought I'd keep them. I've even got one. I was saying like Hotel for Dogs and 300 and just Transformers. But yeah, the Dark Knight ones were probably the best ones that I had. I think, and I got Tropic Thunders.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah, so it was probably an Iron Man. I've got Iron Man.
That's a good
So
one.
2000, obviously
Yeah,
2008.
2008.
Yeah, so I kept some of those. But and I didn't keep. We did. I think I mentioned it once before that we bought a DVD. We thought we'd sort of look at starting the soft porn section. So I got girls of McDonald's doing Playboy. So Playboy went around all these different McDonald's and found girls that they thought were pretty good looking, and hit them up and said, "Hey, do you want to come and do a Playboy shoot?" And I saw that advertised. You know, you got the thing.
Yeah.
I went, "I'm buying it." So we put it in store.
Yeah. Never rented once.
I think it went out a couple of times. Yeah.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, it's a Damo Giles. Yeah. Yeah, on the house account.
Yeah.
On the house account. Yeah, for me, it was essentially like 2 for you, 1 for me when I bought a lot of stuff. I think I got about 500 Blu-rays at home.
Wow. Oh, I did buy a Guitar Hero too, Metallica, because we had games as well.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yep. Absolutely. Okay. Set the over and unders at 15 for this, and I'm sure that there's only one person that goes over. We're going to start with Dan on the land. How do you fare, Dan?
I've been seeing this for a long time, and I would say for the first time in a while, I'm unders for this. Yeah, I don't think I've seen this that many times.
Okay, cool. And Damo?
Well, I just want to put it in a little bit of perspective because you mentioned Goodfellas, well, like the other week, and you guys were talking a gazillion watches. So
Yeah.
I've watched that twice. I've watched LA Confidential 3 times. I've watched Indiana Jones maybe 6 times. Now this is in high rotation.
Okay.
High rotation, like, and I
Once
go,
every 7 years?
I reckon I've seen it 8 times.
So
Okay.
let's do the maths though. Let's do the math.
The dog ears, the
That's 50. That's 50
Yeah.
watches for you.
Yeah, I think so.
I'm going to say it's the rule of 6.
What
Damo
movie do you
uses
reckon
the
you?
rule-
What are you seeing the most, Damo? What's your
Star Wars? Star Wars would be
Star,
number
okay,
one, and then it'd be either and then you'd be moving into Lord of Rings and then this Dark Knight trilogy,
Yeah.
Okay,
possibly,
No, that's-
possibly, yeah.
That's high praise.
Or maybe you know what? And I've probably seen The Sound of Music, you know, because like all through when you grew
Yeah,
up, that was the only thing on TV. You'd watch that, and a couple of years ago when I went to New York. Sound of Music was on. We had a big day and we all just stayed in and watched the Sound of Music.
Yeah.
So I reckon that might be up there as well.
It's a
We've
good
got, there's
movie.
a massive link to The Sound of Music too from the Born to Watch team. So
there is.
we've got actually a former Von Trapp star.
What?
In yeah. So
That's
Captain.
right. I know where you're going now. Yes, Captain Von Trapp.
Captain Georg.
Yes,
Call me Georg, please.
Yes.
I go as Georg, not
Yes.
Captain. I've relinquished all military garb and I
Fair
just
enough.
go as Georg. from
Yes,
now on.
Georg. Yes.
I went along and saw the musical, and Matthew was excellent. But can I just say he was blown off the stage by one thespian that you would not pick in a million years, but you know him, Damo, David Richards, Chief Inspector David Richards these days
With the blonde
But
hair.
Formerly, yeah. His performance, I don't even know the name of the song, but I'm just going to do it anyway. I am 16,
Sting
going
going
on
on
70.
17.
You are 70, going on. He was brilliant, mate. All
That was out
props
in the
to
garden.
Dave.
Yeah.
He's not a naturally over exuberant sort of dude, and he had a big fucking go. And it was excellent. So former Sound of Music actors in our midst.
Well,
Alum.
he might not have had the voice, but holy crap, he had the Aryan look.
Oh, absolutely. He nailed it.
You do not get more
No,
the
the
master
master
race, yes,
Yeah.
than Dave. So no, it was very good. Who were the female stars? I can't even remember.
Michelle Smith played Maria,
Yeah, she was always excellent. Yes,
and that was really the only main female. Like a lot of them were younger because they played the kids.
of course. Yeah.
So, but yeah, look, it was a lot of fun, fraught with nervous tension. But
Was it Glen Street Theatre?
Glen Street Theatre.
Oh,
We did 7 performances. We did 5. We did 9 performances. We did 7
Wow.
shows and 2 matinees. Matinees were hard because there were school kids and they were just sort of talking through it, and it was just shut the fuck up, kids! I'm trying to sing out of us here.
And were you method? Did you break character or did you?
Oh no! Look, I'll tell you how method I went. I borrowed a jumper from a teacher at school, and this will just explain to you just how unmethod I am, not only in my acting career but in life in general. I borrowed that that jumper that I wore in the musical from a Mr. Drummond.
Oh,
Phil
I'm
Drummond.
aware of that name.
Yes.
Mm.
And so nothing that was on or in that jumper rubbed off onto me. But so no, to be short, not method.
Right.
Oh no, you've moved on from that particular topic far too quickly. So, if you don't know, two of the three on this podcast tonight went to Chroma High, which is featured prominently in the press over the years. But this particular teacher that Matthew refers to was a younger, sort of cool
yeah.
teacher.
He was good.
He was.
Rob,
Rob,
he's good
kind
fella.
of your mate. Yeah, good
Yeah,
fella.
yeah,
Kind of your mate.
yeah. That's probably the first warning sign. So
You're
look,
such a pussy.
we're gonna move into the trailer here, and we're gonna listen to the Dark Knight trailer. Stand by.
Where do we begin? A year ago, these cops and lawyers wouldn't dare cross any of you. I mean, what happened?
So what are you proposing?
It's simple. Kill the Batman. Here's my card.
Bruce, this is Harvey Dent.
Rachel's told me everything about you.
I certainly hope not. You once told me that we'd be together. Did you mean it?
Bruce, don't make me your only hope for normal life.
You're Alfred, right?
That's right, sir.
Any psychotic ex-boyfriends I should be aware of?
Oh, you have no idea.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We're tonight's entertainment. Well, hello, beautiful. You look nervous.
I've seen now what it would have to become to stop men like him.
The night is darkest just before the dawn. I promise you, the dawn is coming.
And here we go. This city deserves a better class of criminal. And I'm gonna give it to him. No! You'll see. I'll show you.
You either die a hero, or you live long enough to see yourself become the villain.
Will you be wanting the back pod, sir?
In the middle of the day, Alfred? Not very subtle.
The Lamborghini, then.
Much more subtle.
Oh, another great trailer from Born to Watch. We just keep bringing the heat. Now, look, normally Gow here would give us a synopsis, but it's left up to me now because I'm picking up the slack. So this is from the back of the DVD case that would have been in Damo's video shop next to Playboy Girls of McDonald's.
Playboy McDonald's, yeah. Playboy Girls of McDonald's, yeah.
Okay, tell me what you think of this. Christian Bale once again embodies the man behind the mask in The Dark Knight. The film reunites Bale with director Christopher Nolan and takes Batman across the world in his quest to fight a growing criminal threat. With the help of Lieutenant Jim Gordon and District Attorney Harvey Dent, Batman has been making headway against local crime until a rising criminal mastermind known as the Joker unleashes a fresh reign of chaos across Gotham. To stop this devious new menace, Batman's most personal and vicious enemy yet, he will have to use every high-tech weapon in his arsenal and confront everything he believes.
Yes, it sounds about right, but for some reason, it doesn't. It's basically exactly what it is, but calling him Batman and the Joker, it doesn't sound as good when you read it as when you watch it.
I think it gives too much away. I think it's too matter of fact.
Just pretty nuts and bolts,
Yeah.
meat and potatoes.
Yeah. So it essentially it tells us what's going to happen, but probably too much.
There's some goodies, there's some baddies.
Yeah, it doesn't. I don't think it needs to. Yeah, we all know he's Batman. We all know he's going to go against the Joker. Chaos ensues.
Yes.
That could be it. 7 words.
Yeah.
Dan, thoughts?
A Playboy Girl of McDonald's got 6.9 out of 10 on IMDb. So
Did it?
that's normally I'd give that a hard pass, but I think under Damo's massive recommendation, I think I'm going to have to give it a look. So released in 2005, starring Christy Creighton, Amanda Bell, Jen Takash, Shauna Getzinger, she should be a goer, Wanda Kola, and Randy Occhialani. So
Well, he's the infomercial king, isn't he?
Yeah, well, Dan, that's wasted there. You could have saved that for if you like this. All right. We're going to move into critical thinking now. This is pretty amazing. So IMDb has this at 9 out of 10, with 2.7 million people rating it. It ranks number 3 in the IMDb top 250.
It's pretty high up.
The only 2 movies above it
are The Godfather.
Yep, that's one.
And
Goodfellas.
McDonald's Playboy Girls.
Shawshank Redemption is number 1.
Right. Wow, that means Morgan Freeman's in 2 of the 3.
Yeah, absolutely. So pretty amazing. On Rotten Tomatoes, it's a 94% on both the tomato meter and the audience score. So rates extremely highly. Got a couple of reviews. Love to hear what you think about them. So the good one, we got Glenn Kenny from Mubi. This may seem like faint praise, but about the highest compliment I can give Christopher Nolan's The Dark Knight right now is to say that there were many long stretches during which I didn't even realize it was a superhero movie.
Fair call.
Yep. Now the bad. We've got Mark Savlov of the Austin Chronicle. It's jam-packed. It's jam-packed with flawlessly designed set pieces and skullduggery, sure. But it's also shrouded in grim portent, overlaid with a filigree of despair, and for good measure, covered in a patina of dire consequence.
What did this dickhead just say? A thesaurus?
This is why I have a disdain for other journalists.
There was nothing about critiquing it. It was all about showing the words the words that he can use.
It was like a kaleidoscope of colours, Dan.
Oh, G-Man's one of his famous. I was actually thinking of Gow when you said all those words in succession.
Gow would have loved that.
That was, really Gow-esque.
It was very Gow.
Yeah.
Sorely missed here tonight just because of that, but he's obviously with us.
Well, we've got a candle. We've got that lit there.
It's burnt, yeah. And it seems to me. Okay, so we'll slide into ordinary people, and we'll start with Christian Bale. It's a massive cast, this movie, but we're going to start with Christian Bale. Obviously, he's Batman. Initially cast by Steven Spielberg in 1986 for Empire of the Sun, and absolutely just crushed it against some seasoned actors. One of them, John Malkovich. Great movie. Have you seen Empire of the Sun?
It's the little Chinese kid.
Yeah. No, he's the.
Oh, he's not.
He's not a Chinese kid. No, he's not that good an actor.
Right? He's not Kirk Lazarus from Tropic Thunder.
What an incredible performance!
He is not Kirk Lazarus. That is for sure. But Jesus, Damo, oh my God! And then he was a jobber. So he did this amazing job, and he was a jobber until really he was cast as Patrick Bateman in 2000's American Psycho, which really announced him to the world. Won his Oscar for the portrayal of Dickie Eklund in The Fighter in 2010. For me, though, I think maybe one of his best performances, but also maybe one of his most underrated performances, is as Ken Miles in Ford vs. Ferrari.
Oh, I still haven't seen
mate,
that. My dad,
okay, so Dan, have you seen Ford vs. Ferrari?
Yeah, I have.
Mate, what a film. What a movie. Thoughts?
A really interesting tone for that movie. Not what I expected. It's quite
it's
light
James
and
Mangold.
really...
It's James Mangold, which I thought it would be quite heavy, but it's a great film.
It is. No, really enjoyable and not what I expected. And he's very good, as is Matt Damon in that. So, yeah, Damo and F-Wits, definitely worth one to check out.
Absolutely worth a watch. And any favourites of Christian Bale's?
I can't go past the 3.
Yeah.
Like, I just can't. This is what stands out for me.
Why don't people talk about The Machinist when they talk about Christian Bale roles? Like, it never comes up It's a really
does on this
interesting.
this
Yeah, I
podcast.
bring it up.
Yeah.
Fucking, I seem to have been the only one that likes to delve into the art house to bring out something that we might be into.
Oh,
So
no, you've pulled strangles into your web of
Been corrupted.
wankerous.
Yeah.
that's it. Who'd have thought that someone who lives in Kiwi land would actually be so discerning in his viewer habits? So
He reached out and said that he has seen Two Hands and loves it.
Oh, excellent,
And
excellent.
as you did ask him this week, so yeah, he's hanging on to what's the Operation Fortune, the Guy Ritchie film that he had seen in the cinema. So
okay, I haven't seen
Oh,
it yet.
I
so
saw
can't-
he just watched Flying High too.
he did watch Flying High, yeah,
and yeah, that is gold.
one of the best.
Robert Hayes, yeah.
Absolutely, one
Got a
of the
drinking
best.
problem. Yeah.
Yeah, very funny. Okay, so then the second
Remember George Zip over Macho Grande.
So the second leading man and the guy that absolutely steals the movie, Heath Ledger, R.I.P., burned bright, only started acting in 1999, where he was cast in 10 Things I Hate About You and Two Hands. Died in 2008 from a accidental prescription drug overdose. He was married to Michelle Williams. Married or was a long-term
That's
partner?
right,
They had a
Dawson's
baby.
Creek girl. Yeah.
Some notable films of his. Obviously, we talk about Two Hands on the podcast here all the time, and we will cover it. 2003, he starred in Ned Kelly.
Yep.
He played Ned Kelly. But probably the role which was against type completely was 2005's Brokeback Mountain.
Yeah.
Right? So,
Yeah.
Dan, thoughts on Brokeback Mountain?
I would watch Brokeback Mountain again more than probably 80% of the films that we have so far done on this podcast. I think it is absolutely a masterpiece. And I think that the performance from him and Jake Gyllenhaal were just incredible. And I don't know if you've read the book, but Annie Proulx is a favorite author of mine. And F-Wits, if you check out her Wyoming short stories, if you enjoyed the movie, and Brokeback Mountain is one of the short stories in that collection. And she is just a fucking goddess. And the way it's just an amazing story. It's almost, and it's one of those stories that come from short stories. It's basically replicated almost entirely in the film. So it was actually very closely aligned to that. But yeah, I think, what an amazing, incredible performance by Heath Ledger in that.
Yeah, it's an incredible film. It's beautifully shot. Ang Lee, just incredible performances from the two leads. So powerful. I have only seen it maybe 2 or 3 times. I think that's enough. It's not one, unlike Dan, it's not one I revisit.
No, you're right. It's a tough watch. I've seen a lot more than that, but every time I see it, it's heartbreaking. It's
a brutal film.
Poor old Michelle
right.
Williams. Yeah, she cops the brunt of Ennis's particular penchant in that movie. So
yeah.
When did he do A Knight's Tale? Because I actually remember going to the movies to see
that was early on. That was in that was after Two Hands, so it was in like 2003. I think
he made a lot of movies. He made that shit one with Mel.
What the hell is that?
The one.
The Patriot. The Patriot.
The Patriot. Yeah.
Oh,
Patriot.
right. Yep.
Well, no. So he did A Knight's Tale in 01, as I said.
Yeah.
Patriot in 2000. So listen to this. I was not going to do this, but we're going to. So he's a bit of a TV jobber. He was on Home and Away in 97. And then he did 99, 10 Things I Hate About You in Two Hands. Then 2000, The Patriot. 2001, A Knight's Tale. 2001, Monsters Ball.
Oh.
2002, The Four Feathers. 2003, Ned Kelly. 2003, Sin Eater. 2005, Lords of Dogtown, which is a good movie.
Oh, yeah,
Good movie. 2005, The Brothers Grimm with Damon. 2005, Brokeback Mountain. 2005, Casanova. 2006, Candy. 2007, I'm Not There, which is the Bob Dylan.
Yeah, but he's one of the Bob Dylan. So is Kate.
He's one of the Bob Dylans.
Yeah.
Then 2008, The Dark Knight, and then 2009 was the Imaginarium of Dr. Parnassus, where he had to be replaced.
Hey, he's busy,
mate. In 10 years, he did a lot.
Yeah,
he did a lot. He really crammed a lot into his short career, which is obviously heartbreaking. Won the Oscar, as we mentioned earlier, posthumously for this role, and thoroughly deserved.
Yep.
So then the director, because we'll get to some of the cast bit after this, but Christopher Nolan. Now, can there be any more bloody high praise of this guy? He is one of the true original visionaries left in Hollywood. Nearly all of his movies that he does are original screenplays and original ideas. Yet we've done the Batman films, but he took them off in a completely different tangent
Yep.
that had ever been done before. But starts in 2000 with Memento,
Oh yeah.
and then his career is just off and flying. And he has not made a bad movie. There's been some ones which have not been amazing, but he has not made a bad movie. Like Tenet was the latest, Dunkirk, incredible. Interstellar.
Tenet, I don't know. Tenet was
weird.
Tenet's pushing the
He
Tenet's pushing the envelope the furthest he ever has.
He really works with concept of time.
Time.
Yeah,
It's a big thing in his movies.
Inception and Interstellar and Tenet.
Yep.
It's always like there's some sort of weird another dimension or something.
Dunkirk is time as well. The 3 time frames.
Oh yeah, right.
An hour, a day, a
Yep,
week.
yep.
Right. So it's pretty incredible.
Yeah.
But yeah, like he's Inception. He's not the Prestige, which is underrated.
Oh, that's the magician one. I've seen it once. I can't really remember it.
It's got Hugh Jackman.
Yeah, they're
it's great.
dueling magicians or something.
Christian Bale and Hugh Jackman. It's great.
I can't really remember it.
So, mate, Morgs, what are your thoughts on Christopher Nolan? He a true visionary, right?
I have a strained relationship with his films, so I think that again on the rewatch, I don't want to jump too early into a lot of the categories, but I think you're right. I think that his style and his technical ability and the sequencing that he's able to dream up are just incredible. But films like Inception and Tenet, they just kind of lost me. They're plot thin, but big on style and big on amazing set pieces. Incredible cinematography. Lots of practical stunts as well, which I love.
He's incredible at that.
CGI all the time. Obviously, Inception, there was a lot of mind-bending stuff in there. So, yeah, I don't know. It's definitely a lot of his films I absolutely love, and a lot of them I'm like, why? I'm not sure why someone so brilliant has done that particular film. So, yeah, definitely it's a bit of a 50-50 proposition for me.
Fair enough. I love Inception. I saw that at the cinema.
It's a
It blew
brilliant
my
movie.
mind.
It's awesome.
Blew my mind. Interstellar, again, blew my mind.
It takes a bit to sort of understand even Interstellar, though. It's sort of like, hang on, what the heck?
Is that
It's sort of the back of the
McConaughey
beginning.
one? I always get
McConaughey,
confused. Yeah, no,
that's
good.
McConaughey.
Yeah, I like that.
That's very, very good. Yeah, very good. Okay, look, this cast is long and deep.
Yep.
Morgan Freeman, Gary Oldman, Aaron Eckhart.
Ding, ding, ding.
Okay.
Gary Oldman.
Gary Oldman, yep.
It's 1 degree of...
Quickly Down Under.
Well, he's 1 degree of Kurt Russell.
Is
Gary
he?
Oldman. He was in
Okay.
a movie called Interstate 60.
Right. Well done.
But and because we're on Quigley, there's no 1 degree, but there's a 1.5 degree because there is Ben Mendelsohn is in the trilogy.
Yes.
So,
okay, right.
so I'm saying Ben, it's as the
1.5,
trilogy. Yeah,
1.5.
you got your 1.5 of Quigley,
Okay.
which is
Bendo,
as everyone
Bendo.
the number one thing on BTW is the 1 degree of Quigley.
Well, it's fast becoming the
It
11th most famous segment in the podcast.
Yeah.
So Morgan Freeman, Gary Oldman, Aaron Eckhart, Maggie Gyllenhaal, Michael Caine, Cillian Murphy, Eric Roberts.
Okay, I also Michael Caine. I do a very good Michael Caine.
Go for it.
Nice.
Did you know?
Is that it?
Yep.
Yeah,
that's it.
Master
Michael
Wayne.
Caine. Michael Caine.
Yeah, okay, we all do it. But I love his smiles. I don't know if you've seen Dirty Rotten Scoundrels.
Yeah,
of course.
When he's Dr. Emil Schuffhausen.
Yeah.
So when Glenn Headley opens the door to Steve Martin sitting there in his wheelchair and said, "You won't believe who I've just seen," and she opened the door, Dr. Emil Schuffhausen, and Michael Caine is standing in the door smiling, right? That scene is one of my favorite scenes in any movie just because of his smile.
Yeah.
And I am laughing my head off and then looking at Steve Martin like, what the hell? Yeah. But yeah, I love Michael Caine. I read his book in 1992. I think it was called like, What's It All About? And every page had some life-changing moment. I can't really remember too much of the book, but no, I love Michael Caine. I think he's so good.
Yeah, look, he's amazing. I watched another movie we talk about a bit on this podcast is The Poseidon Adventure.
Yep.
And I watched the sequel to it about a couple months ago.
A sequel?
Yeah, there's a sequel.
Like the boat's got tipped over again.
The boat, it's called Beyond the Poseidon Adventure. And Michael Caine plays a treasure hunter who goes with Sally Fields in it.
Oh, okay. So
And
they
they
go,
say-
Michael Caine was a jobber for a long time.
Big
Like,
time,
he was
big
taking
time.
paychecks.
Paychecks.
It wasn't
And
in
that's where I was-
Jaws 4 or something
Yeah,
as
Jaws
well.
Revenge.
So,
And
yeah.
that's what I was getting to. I was getting to the fact that he's a massive jobber. He was in like The Swarm. He was in Beyond the Poseidon Adventure. Beyond the Poseidon Adventure is worth a watch. It's not bad.
Yeah,
it's not bad. Got Telly Savalas in it.
Oh my God.
It's got a great cast. It's a really not a bad movie. It's not great. It's nowhere near. It's not a pinch of shit on the original, but it's good to go back to Poseidon before it goes down, right? Okay, so look, a very deep cast for this one. So I'm not going to spend heaps of time.
I just want to mention one more.
You go, Damo. I want to interject as well, but you go
because I want to touch on what you brought up about 2 weeks ago about triple name actors.
Oh, yeah.
Hyphenated.
Yeah. Okay, so in this you got Anthony Michael Hall.
Yes.
Right. And I did not recognize him at all.
It's a cameo.
Right. But I have forgotten about him since Weird Science, and I thought that's that same kid from Breakfast Club.
Wusty.
It is.
But and he looks different though, but he's a triple name.
Yeah.
And then I saw there is a lot of triple name Hollywood people. There is so many. Like Michael Clark Duncan's and Philip Seymour Hoffman, and
they're both dead. Can you give me one that are alive? You got any that are alive, Dave?
I did, Sarah Jessica Parker, Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
Yeah.
How about Neil Patrick Harris?
Yeah.
Okay. Brian Haley Joel Osment, Craig Woon lookalike. Gina Lee Nolan from Baywatch.
Oh, she did a good video.
Chance Nickel Clockstad from the Auckland Warriors.
Excellent.
There's a lot of
the Canberra Raiders.
There's a lot of
New Zealand Warriors.
there's a lot of
But there's so many of them.
triple banger names.
There's stacks.
There's only one triple threat podcast host, and he wants to interject now. Dan, what do you got?
Yeah, I agree with Damo. Thank you. I still hate hyphenators. Get fucked. But I just wanted to bring up Maggie Gyllenhaal very quickly. So so she was obviously a change in casting for this particular. So obviously Katie, what's her face? Tom Cruise's
Katie
Holmes. Yeah, she got the ass. There was talk of scheduling conflicts. Please.
John's daughter.
It was just because she was fucking terrible in the first one.
Great.
So
they
got rid of her. Maggie Gyllenhaal, I think, is particularly brilliant. I loved her in Secretary with James Spader. Check it out if you haven't seen it. But when I could go through her filmography, but I shan't. What I'd like to focus on is The Deuce, which is a recent David Simon series on HBO. Did you guys happen to watch that?
I haven't seen it, but I've heard a bit about it. Yeah,
it's fucking excellent. And David Simon is from, you'd remember him from such TV royalty as The Wire and Generation Kill and many Treme, many others. He's definitely a god to me and someone who I've given up a lot of my life in watching his programming. But Maggie Gyllenhaal in The Deuce is just a absolutely amazing spellbinding performance. And she didn't get a lot to work with on this. Apparently, she only wanted to work on this film because of Chris Nolan, and she had a massive amount of respect for that. So it's a pretty nothing part, and she didn't have a lot to work with. But in The Deuce, it's a long form television series, and you get to see the range of her, and it's a pretty spicy bit of content as well. So if you haven't seen it, my fellow F-wits, go out and check it out because Maggie Gyllenhaal is incredible, as we say in French. That's all I have to say.
Amazing, bilingual. To end with a bilingual word, that is...
You haven't said denouement yet.
Denouement. Can I just... I've just started reading a book called Crime and Punishment, Fyodor Dostoevsky.
Okay. You're into the Russian literature. That's pretty heavy for Born to Watch, Dana.
Russian impressionists.
In the first chapter, denouement is mentioned. And I was like, I would not have had a clue of what this word was if it wasn't for Born to Watch.
Do you think you're going to make it out of the first chapter?
Oh, I'm up to about a third of the way through.
Well done.
It's a big book, don't you?
It's a heavy tome. But I think next time you come back, I would like to check in on your progress of that particular book, as it's definitely something to struggle through. Well played, young man.
Okay, so the box office for this movie and the budget. The budget, $185 million estimated budget.
Wow.
In 2008 was a lot of money. A lot of money.
That's a lot of money.
It's some dough.
Right? Now, the gross.
Especially with that cast.
Now, listen. The opening weekend did $158 million.
It's a pretty good opening
weekend. The opening weekend. So it nearly made its budget back. It grossed just over $1 billion worldwide.
Yep.
Wowzers.
Just an absolute blockbuster.
Yep.
Okay, so we're going to take a little bit of a different tack for 2008, the year that was. I'm going to go 3 hits, 3 sleepers, and 3 duds for the
Okay.
year.
Yep.
So
I like
this
it.
is. So I'm going to give you my 3 hits for the year, and it's just up for discussion. Tell me what you think of them. So number 1, and hits we're going to talk about not necessarily the best movies, but movies that were dead set hits. 2008, number 1, Taken.
Oh yeah, good movie.
Ooh.
Yep.
Taken, incredible film.
Yep.
Liam Neeson went back to the old school action, cleaned house.
Yep.
I actually was hoping his daughter would be killed because she was a pain in the ass, but he saved her anyway.
Yep.
She's a smacky, her life's shit anyway. So quality movie.
Yes.
Quality movie.
Loved it.
Thoughts, Dan?
Oh, I want you to do all 3, and then I'll.
Okay.
yeah.
2. Dan's not going to like this one. 2, Iron Man.
Totally agree.
Right?
That is my Marvel peak though.
Yeah.
At Iron Man.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think it's a phenomenal movie, but I thought they regressed from there. But I
Okay.
loved it. Not a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, not to the extent it is now, where
No,
it's
woeful now. Yeah.
But it's slowly but surely.
Okay.
But I loved Iron Man.
Yeah. Quality. Number 3, Forgetting Sarah Marshall.
God.
Jason
Is that
Segel's
with
big dick.
Yeah, he gets it out a lot.
Is Russell
Mila-
Brand in that too?
Yes. Mila Kunis.
And Russell Brand's like the sexy.
He's the rocker.
Yeah.
And his girlfriend's having a
I
affair with him.
can't remember it, but I have seen
Veronica Mars. What's her bloody name?
Veronica-
Jack Shepherd's-
Kristen Bell. Kristen
Yeah,
Bell.
Kristen Bell. Good sort. Good
Yeah.
sort.
Anna from Frozen.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. She's a good sort. They're my 3 hits from the year. Thoughts on them?
I love them. Well, I can't remember. I have seen it, but I think it was the first 2 are awesome. I would have added Tropic Thunder in there without a doubt.
I was tossing up between Tropic Thunder and Forgetting Sarah Marshall.
Yeah, Tropic Thunder to me is just all time. Like I hands down, unbelievably brilliant. But yeah,
2001's MTV Kiss of the Year, whatever.
And the Crying Monkey Award for. I still haven't seen Satan's Alley with Kurt Lazarus and Tobey Maguire. Grabbing the rosary beads.
Dan, anything to add?
2 of those 3 I will watch again in my lifetime and enjoy.
So not Iron Man though.
Look, even when you said it, I remember in 2008 actually enjoying Iron Man, but it's been a law of diminishing returns since. So yeah,
It is. But
definitely.
Look at the dialogue. Look at the dialogue in the cave.
Mate, it's incredible.
With the guy and his family,
Yeah.
and he's
If
going to die.
I had to pick a superhero movie to watch again, that would be probably one of them. So
It's another one I walked out of the cinema going, "Oh my god, I've just witnessed
It was
a
awesome.
change."
Yeah. And it was funny.
Yeah, it was funny. Well, Downey Jr. is just incredible.
Yeah.
Okay, so I've got 3 sleepers from 2008. I've got Frost Nixon.
Oh,
Michael Sheen.
Oh, right. Yeah. I haven't.
now
seen it.
you're
I know the
talking,
movie,
sister.
though.
Frank-
No, same
Frank-
alts. Yeah.
Frank Langella. Incredible.
Yeah.
Incredible movie. Can't take my eyes away whenever it's on.
True story.
True story about the interview when the famous British
Watergate, wasn't it?
No, it was he interviewed him about Watergate and actually got him to spill the beans, essentially. But
he
incredible. film.
basically Lieutenant Daniel Caffrey'd him. He basically,
He did.
He got
He
him
did.
to admit that there had been a fucking unsanctioned beating.
Yep. Okay, number 2, In Bruges. Now we spoke about that last week.
Colin Farrell.
Why
Okay.
weren't these films
I
the
refuse
first
to
of
watch
this? I like this new category. I think it's sick, but you
Yes.
got the films around the wrong fucking way.
Yeah. No. Well, it's not. We're not saying these. It's a 1, 2, 3, 4. It's just these are 4. I've got 4 for sleepers.
Yep.
So In Bruges, which is great. So
Excellent film.
Brendan
Michael
Gleeson.
McDonough.
yeah, just incredible. Number 3, we're staying European. The Bank Job.
Oh, was that the remake of with the little minis?
No, that's the Italian Job. The Bank
Oh.
Job has Statham. They rob the bank in England. It's really, really good. It's worth a watch.
I don't remember it.
Okay. So you need to watch The Bank Job. It's a great movie. Jason Statham. It's set in the 60s, and they buy they rent a chippy next to the bank, and they dig under the tunnel on it based on a true story.
I've seen it.
Based on a true story.
I've seen it once, but I remember that bit. Yes.
It's worth a watch. Okay, number 4, comedy. Zach and Miri Make a Porno.
Oh.
Right. Seth Rogen,
Yeah.
Elizabeth Banks.
Yeah.
It is fucking funny.
Yeah.
Very funny. Suffers the stock standard tropes of, they're going to end up together and they're going to fall in love, best friends, but very funny. And the movie that they do, it's called Star Wars, and they're filming, and it's I see UP and R2T bag, and it's got Jason Mewes from Jane Silent
Oh yeah,
Bob,
he's brilliant. Yeah,
and
he's
it is freaking
classic.
hilarious.
Well, but that sounds like a rip-off of the Martin Freeman Bit in Love, actually.
Maybe it may be.
It's exactly.
Yeah, it may be. Okay, I got 3 duds. 3
Whoa,
duds
whoa, whoa,
from
whoa! We didn't
2000.
pass comment on those 4.
Oh,
So
okay, hit me with your comments for
Yeah.
the sleepers.
Your first 2 were fantastic.
Yep.
The Zach and Miri, yeah, I think the first half's amazing. I think the second half, it just unfortunately gets lost in the typical tropey wilderness.
Yep.
Yeah. What was the third one you mentioned? I can't remember.
Bank Job, Jason Statham.
Yeah, I
Bank
haven't.
Job.
I can't remember seeing that. But the first 2, I think, should be in your previous category of incredible movies, incredible from 2008. Okay, I'm looking for. I like this. What's the next one?
Yeah. Okay, so we've got 3 duds. Number 1, Quantum of Solace, James Bond.
Agree.
Fucking terrible.
Shame, real shame.
Plot after Casino Royale, you're expecting this to be this
I like
amazing film.
Gemma Atherton in the oil. Good sort.
Yes.
But
yes.
no,
It's a bad movie. It has the plot is just non-existent.
Is that the Olga Korolenko?
Or Olga Korolenko,
Yeah.
which is interesting because the next movie, Skyfall, is could be arguably the best James Bond ever.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah,
Right?
they really lost
So-
the plot there for a second.
They lost the plot with Quantum of Solace. Okay, now Leatherheads,
Didn't see it.
George Clooney.
John Krasinski.
Yeah, and it's the Coen brothers.
Coen brothers.
Awful again.
Well, it's already lost me.
Yeah. So massive hopes, Coen brothers film, and it's just there's something with George Clooney. He's so hit and miss, and when he's good, he's great. And when he's not great, he's got nipples on his
I
suit.
might have to rewatch that to give updated comment on that one. So,
Yeah. Okay. Excellent.
'cause
Well, this is what
definitely-
this is for. We want to test the watchers. Number 3. Now, Morgs, we saw the original one of these at the cinemas and walked away going, that was actually pretty cool. We enjoyed that. Second one, not so good. Third one is this movie,
Oh god.
The Mummy, Tomb of the Dragon Emperor. Brendan Fraser. Rachel Weisz does not come back for the third one, so Maria Bello steps into her
I have
role.
not seen- I've seen
It's
the
set
first
in
2.
China. It's got
Yeah.
Jet Li in it. It is so beyond bad.
Yeah.
You want to talk about a franchise that has diminishing returns, with the first one being incredible, the second one being third one being just rubbish.
Yep.
Any thoughts on the 3 duds for 2008?
They're all shit.
Yeah, they are all shit.
What was the first one again?
Quantum of Solace.
Yeah, shit. What was the second one?
Leatherheads.
What was the third one?
I forgot.
The Mummy, Tomb of the Dragon Emperor.
Yes.
Again, we've just done the 3 duds twice now. So
Yes. No, I agree. They're all duds. Maria Bello is a good sort.
Yes.
Rachel Weisz is also a good sort of the English
Yeah.
Rose. But other than that, I want to revisit Leatherhead. So stand by. I'll come back to you on that one.
Okay.
But
Like to-
Quantum
like
of
to hear
Solace,
that.
wholheartedly agree. What a great segment. Let's just fuck Gal off and do
that's
this
a good segment. Yeah, I like it. That's a good segment. Well done, Matt. Okay, so question time, and we're just going to keep rolling. So, Batman has rules. Well, at least
Yes.
one rule.
Yep.
Shouldn't he just kill the Joker?
No,
Oh,
He's got a couple opportunities.
well, obviously, his whole thing is he's not going to do that. I
Yeah.
mean, that's his number one principle. So if he went against that, well then,
But he's killing everyone he can find.
well, it doesn't necessarily kill him. He just beats the shit out of him.
No, he killed Malcolm Joe White with the pencil impaled through the nostril.
Oh, that's the Joker.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, but the
No, the
Joker is.
Joker.
Yeah. Oh,
Oh,
right.
the Joker's killing everyone.
Yes.
So the Batman,
No.
you know,
Well, yeah, but that's just not Batman's jam.
right? Dan, I heard you laugh. Just kill him, right?
Yeah, fuck. But when he's driving that shit motorcycle like dead at him, and it
I
would have
love that
just
motorcycle.
cleaned him up. Yeah, he should have just plowed him with that thing.
He should have.
So,
He should have.
yeah.
He could have. And yeah,
Can look, Daniel, when we talk about that in the future, can you call it the Bat Pod? Which is what its
Sorry.
name is.
I've
Oh, is that
actually
what
got
It's
it.
not the Bat bike.
No, it's
I've
the
got
Bat
it. I've
Pod.
got it written down, and it will feature later in some of my
Dun,
critiques.
dun,
But
dun,
yeah,
dun,
no,
dun.
he should have definitely run that fucker over. So,
Well, Joker was actually shooting his buddy Tommy gun at him too at the same time.
Yeah.
It's like,
Mate, the Joker was shooting anyone he could find.
but the thing was, he didn't want to kill him either, though.
No,
So-
they didn't want to kill each
So
other.
he's trying to ram him. The other guy's trying
Yeah.
to shoot him. And actually, both of them didn't want to kill each other.
Okay, so Michael Caine as Alfred.
Did you know?
Did you know that Michael Caine as Alfred had a note he should have given to Bruce? Now, should Alfred have told Bruce about Rachel's intentions of moving on?
No,
Nah.
he did the right thing.
Did the
No,
right thing.
okay. Surely Bruce knows there's no future with Rachel, right? I know he's hanging his hat on
last
that.
conversation with her was it left him with like, oh, hang on, she's like,
She
yeah,
did.
he's
She
on.
did kiss him.
She
She did lead him on.
intimated
Yes.
that
Yeah.
she was
Yes.
going to root him. That's no.
Yeah.
I disagree.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
she
He
was like,
thought-
I'm going to punt Harvey Dent and I'm going to root you, Bruce.
Don't make
She
me your
kissed-
last hope for happiness, Bruce.
Yeah, it was a bit ambiguous, but it was like, hang on, so there's a chance. Like,
Yeah.
but a pretty good chance.
Was she a bit of a bitch? Like Harvey kept saying "I love you," and she just never answered.
She's cold.
Even
yeah.
when she blows up.
She's got two blokes, so she's kind of thinking, yeah, maybe.
I'm telling you, Iraq's not good enough to have two blokes.
No, it's not.
No,
Definitely not. Katie Holmes would have.
Katie Holmes, she has 6 blokes.
Yeah.
Right. All right. So, last question. So, you've decided you're going to commit your life to being a masked vigilante and living by the dark. This is not something surely you can just decide, I'm out.
Hard to let
There's
go.
always going to be a need for Batman in Gotham, right? Regardless of what Harvey Dent does. You can't just go, oh, well, yeah, I'm going to put him in there and then I'm going to just step out. Surely not.
But his work had been done because of the Dent Act. Oh, that was
That's the next one.
But yeah, so he was still doing it.
Yeah,
But if Harvey Dent was going to take the mantle, he's like, well, okay, they need the White Knight. They don't need the Dark Knight. He's going to do it. So I can step back. It's just like me filling in for Gal. That's the same thing. So
I'm your weight.
So Gal can step back tonight.
Yeah.
Because I can jump in for him. Same with what Batman was thinking with Harvey Dent.
Could he though?
Exactly the same thing.
Exactly the same. Okay, thank you, Batman. Okay, Dan, thoughts? Is this something you can just turn off?
The whole Batman thing, I couldn't get a handle on what his skills were. So he's a superhero, but he hasn't got any Superman skills or anything. Like he hasn't got.
He's rich.
He's rich.
He's rare. He's just got heaps of freight, and he can kind of put on suits. But then, sometimes he'd kick ass, and other times dogs would beat him, and I just couldn't get a handle on what his skills were. I don't know. Maybe he was over it. He was a bit bored, and he wanted to go and root the Russian ballet on a super yacht. I don't know. Like it was. Yeah.
I can tell you
couldn't
what
get
the
a
difference
handle on
was.
What floated his boat.
I can tell you what the difference was. He's not wearing hockey pants. I'm not wearing hockey pants.
That is one of my favorite quotes.
Yeah,
And
it's
maybe
great.
he could have said, what's the difference between me and you? Well, did you get a little blue flower and climb to the top of the mountain, give it to Liam Neeson and get trained like a ninja?
Yeah.
No, he says, no, I'm not wearing hockey pants.
Exactly.
I love it.
Okay. All right. Well done. Well played. We're going to move into the categories. We're just flying through this. The good, the bad, and the ugly. And we'll start with Dan up on the land with the good.
Okay, 5 seconds later.
Let's go. And then we'll quickly shoot.
Obviously, I'm telegraphing some of my thoughts on this film, but as far as good, there's some amazing stuff in it. So the opening scene, I think, is brilliant. I think that all the chat amongst the Joker acolytes that end with them all being shot and the bank being robbed, and then William Fichtner actually getting a shotgun out as the bank manager, I thought was unusual.
Yeah.
Gow used to work at Westpac back in the 90s, and I don't think he took a shotty to work in case.
He had a different shoddy. He had
He had the 7 always loaded to take down some 10s. But
Straight down to Jammo. Straight down to Jammo.
That was fantastic, that opening scene, really good. The other thing I really liked, I mentioned before the use of practical rather than CGI stunts as a bit of a Christopher Nolan thing, but that 18-wheeler articulated vehicle that actually flips on its axis is just was mind-blowing. And again, on the revisit, I was like, well, fuck yeah, Christopher Nolan, you definitely can do a sequence. So yeah, they're my 2 standout goods.
Yep. Damo, what do you got?
For me, in January this year, I my son and I, Jackson, we went and saw a concert by candlelight. See this string quartet called Paradiso Strings, who played the music for Hans Zimmer.
Yep,
and had Inception and Gladiator and Lion King and
sounds
incredible. But the reason I went was to hear The Dark Knight.
Yeah.
I love the score.
The score in this movie is next level.
I
good.
honestly, I love Hans Zimmer. Like, you know, at the end of the year with Spotify, they give you your
Yes.
rankings thing. So the last 2 years, I've been in the top 0.1% of Hans Zimmer listeners.
Right.
Last year,
Shit.
yeah. Well, last year, my number one album was The Batman Begins. The year before that, it was The Dark Knight Rises. Actually, The Dark Knight is my favorite soundtrack now. So I'm thinking that might even get it this year. But I love the soundtrack in this, the score in this movie more than anything else. I listen to it every week. It's in the background. I always put it on when I'm working. I don't listen to the radio. I stick on one of the Batman scores generally.
Wow.
So I love the score. Obviously, Heath Ledger was brilliant. But I love the dialogue. It was funny. I loved all that. And those two scenes, the Hong Kong scene and the one that Morgs just talked about, the sort of almost a Fury Road style
Yes,
scene,
yeah.
that car chase. I loved those two scenes. It was just a really brilliant. And that's pretty much it.
Yeah, I'm gonna tag onto that. The shot after maybe it's just before that or during the crash where Ledger is leaning outside the cop car and he's weaving and the sound is muted and it's just him and you can tell it's like a descent into madness.
Yeah.
That shot is fucking
It looks
unbelievable.
so good.
Like I just looked at it and was like, that is just incredible. Like I'm not huge on cinematography and all that. I'm all about but that shot was like, that's impressive.
Yep.
Right. That I just love that. This is more than a superhero movie to me. This is a crime thriller. Like this, if you take the capes away and the makeup away, this is Heat. This is essentially like Heat. Obviously, Ledger is next level, and we can't say enough about that. I love the interrogation scene.
Oh yeah,
I love the interrogation scene. So the bit where the
good cop, bad cop, not quite,
but where the lights come on and he's behind him, and it's just, and then they're into it. And I think that was actually filmed that first. That was one of the first scenes that they filmed in the movie, right? So they sort of didn't have any rapport at all, and they just went straight into that. And yeah, that's just powerful, that scene. And Morgs is going, no, this is going to be in probably a later one, but I love the Bat Pod.
Yeah, I do too.
Functionally impossible to work, right? But Isabel, I watched this with Isabel the other day, and the bit in that truck scene where it does the flip on the wall, she goes, "Can we watch that again, Dad?" We had to watch it 5 times.
Wow.
We had to watch the truck flipping and then the Bat Pod doing the flip
up and around the
wall,
yeah.
and him just coming back down. Like she loved that.
Yeah, very cool.
Yeah, so
I love the way the Bat Pod came out of the actual tumbler.
Yeah,
like when it was catastrophic or whatever, and it just popped out, and I was like, "Oh my god!" It just looked wicked.
Very cool. Okay, let's move into the bad. We'll start with Damo for this one. What do you got for bad?
Well, even though Morg said Maggie Gyllenhaal was really good, I still wanted Katie Holmes there. I still preferred Katie Holmes. I thought she looked so much better. Maggie's
she can't act though. I think
I thought she was pretty good.
Yeah,
I thought she was pretty good, and I Maggie was great, but I actually wanted continuity. I wanted Katie Holmes.
Yeah.
Sorry, you mentioned Dawson's Creek before because Michelle Williams, obviously partner of Heath Ledger. To be over. James Van Der Beek.
Massive forehead.
What the fuck? Like, obviously that was all before social media, but the fucking way that they just told us all of their inner turmoil thoughts, and it was a precursor to the shit we see today, where everyone just thinks that they can just put up all the drama. Oh my god!
They were like 16 or 17 years old with
talking
all these
like they were in a
dramas.
Dostoevsky bloody novel. So, yeah, I disagree there, Damo. I think that unfortunately she was so tainted by that fucking show that
you've been scarred.
It was different. And I didn't even watch that much of it. I think it was like Gow. I think I was forced to do it in a previous relationship to watch that, and just thought, fucking hell, what is the world coming to? Teenagers do not talk like this.
No, okay. Well, then also
not in Australia.
Also for bad, the Joker was playing. He was almost looking into the future. Like there's some real 4D chess going on. It was like, wow, he's really, really like looking into the future, so that because his plans worked to perfection.
There was a massive leap of faith in a lot of his plans to come to fruition.
The planets really aligned, but also the bit when the bad too was Harvey's line in the hospital bed, and then the Joker walked in, so he's got the makeup on, he's got his Maury's wig on, And Harvey Dent did not realise it was the Joker till he took his mask off. It's
Yeah.
like, no, seriously,
Dude.
there's the things weren't clown paint.
No, he's working on one eye.
Yeah, I know.
He's
But
working
I was
on
like,
one eye.
because as soon as he took the mask off, he's like, oh,
Mate,
it's
he's in
you.
an immense amount of pain and he won't take any painkillers.
I know, but I just thought it was a little obvious. Yeah, he fired up big time. It was rage. Yeah, so they're my
do you
three
think
fads.
John Travolta gets royalties from Aaron Eckhart's chin whenever any movie that he's in? It's a fairly substantial bum chin that he's got going on there, so he might even take down.
It is,
Yeah.
but he's a pretty good looking.
He's a good-looking fella.
chin
Oh,
man.
well,
He's
all right.
got a-
Well, you just keep that in your pocket. That might be something you want to talk about a bit later. But
He looks like he's got a bit of a Bruce Campbell vibe to him.
I got a John Bon Jovi vibe.
Oh,
yes, excellent. I did see a bit of that. The hair was good. I've run that too recently, and I did enjoy it. So,
Really?
yeah.
Okay.
Not tonight.
Bon Jovi do or the Eckhart do?
The Eckhart do. Or both.
Okay.
Really, so.
All right. What? Dan, anything? What do you got for bad?
Okay. Let's just no. Look, the Bat Pod. I know you guys love it, but as a fairly advanced motorcyclist myself, I would have fucking brapped away from that clown on my dirt squirter. Like, it was completely ridiculous and useless. Like, he would have been better just busting out a KTM 2-stroke 300 out of that broken Batmobile and ripping around on that rather than that absolutely ridiculous thing. Christian Bale's voice when he is the Batman, not Bruce Wayne. I get it. He wanted to differentiate himself from being Bruce Wayne. But that fucking voice he put on the revisit.
I'm not wearing hockey pants.
I'm not the one wearing hockey pants. Like, it was ridiculous. I couldn't break away from that voice and buy into the character. So I don't know. I don't know if I've noticed it before. Again, it's this law of diminishing returns with these particular films. But yeah, his voice just kept taking me out of the movie and laughing at him. Aaron Eckhart, I thought was fucking bad in this. I never really got Harvey Dent as a character that I liked or disliked. He was just kind of a douchebag. I don't know if it was a poor performance from him, a poorly written character or whatever. Also, did his coin have two heads or whatever? It seemed to start with two heads.
It's got two heads.
But at the
It's
end,
got two heads.
so he was just bullshitting. Right.
It's blackened.
It blackened like when his face got
When he's
blackened in the
burnt-
fire.
When his face got burned.
Blackened
his
is the
face got
end.
burnt.
No, it really laughs bad. The whole fucking sonar mobile phone thing. Oh my fucking
I might
God.
give you that one.
I got that.
The Captain Exposition of Morgan Freeman, who I love and generally enjoy, that painful scene where he's having to explain what the fuck is going on because it's so absolutely ridiculous. Fuck, that has aged super quickly from 15 years ago. That seems like the most ridiculous premise ever put in as a huge turning point in the film, and just on revisit, just completely ridiculously poor. That's it. That's my bad.
It made sense though. I mean, sort of practically, it may not work or it's a bit ridiculous, but it suited the thing.
It's a superhero movie, so of course they'll explain anything to work. I was taken out of the movie again. Just go, what the fuck? Like, really? This is the end? This is how they solve the crime? Like, fuck me.
Yeah, I had the sonars a bit of a stretch. In some of the games, in the later games from Batman that are on the PlayStation, the Arkham Asylum and Arkham Knights, all this kind of stuff, there's a thing called detective mode, which is that where it goes sort of sonar and infrared. But it's not done through people's mobile phones through the whole city. Like, I just thought,
like Google Maps
I thought that was a stretch, right?
Yeah.
So yeah,
I don't even mind the setup, to be honest. I think that as written on the paper, okay, that's really interesting. I just think that the way that they handled it and the way that they used it so heavily at the end, I was just like, oh god.
Yeah, you reckon he could have had something else to find out where
he's fucking Batman? He can do anything else. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. Like,
well, he took the fingerprint off a shattered bullet.
Yeah, so you could have found the Joker pretty easily. I've got just kill the Joker, please, just kill him. And the ending with the three fairies, and it's so tropey that the criminal makes the call to save everyone.
Yeah.
I'm like, and the good people become bad people, but he can't do it. And then it's
on the nose.
If all three of them throw the fucking detonators out, then like if people do what they're supposed to do, then and they're humans, which there's not many of them around anymore, I'm afraid. But wouldn't all of them just throw the things out the window or not do it?
Look, I think they were all sort of, you put yourself in that situation, be like, holy shit, what do you do? But I think most people just sit there with your sitting on your hands like, oh, I'm not going to.
You're not going to make a call. No one's going to do the thing to blow up another fucking
There's
ferry.
no way you're going to go and deliberately, you know what, I'm going to blow them up. I'm going to.
Or they're going to go, well, they deserve to die. They're the prisoners, so they deserve to die when they're the ones that made the call to save everyone.
Yeah.
But how do they know that they made that
call?
They
don't know. That's the whole thing.
Right?
And that's why the Joker's just playing with their minds, just seeing what they do, and he's relying on them pressing the button to show that, you know what, people are dickheads. Yeah. They're selfish. Yeah. They're going to do it.
There didn't seem to be a lot of people using their mobile phones at the time either, whilst they're sitting on the ferry, like calling in.
Only internal of their body.
Yeah.
To be blown up.
Very weird.
Yeah, it was a bit odd. Okay. Anything for ugly?
The only ugly thing I would have, and I know this is probably a character trait that people love, a little tick that Heath had, was his lip smacking and his tongue hanging out.
You know
all
why
the time.
he did that though?
I thought it was brilliant, but God, it was ugly.
Yeah, so he did that because the prosthetics were coming loose on his face, so he was licking them to keep them sticking to his face.
But it was very cool. But holy shit, it was just seeing his tongue coming out all the time. It was like, man, that's It's like listening to someone eat.
Sounds like Gow on a podcast. All right, and Morgs, anything for ugly?
Look, on the revisit, I just had how little I cared about any character in this movie. I didn't give a fuck who was dying, who wasn't dying, if Commissioner Gordon's wife, I was like, she's a whiny bitch, fucking kill her. I didn't, there was no one. Like the two, his right-hand chick, who was found to be a traitor that gave up the information on Aaron Eckhart. Like I couldn't, I was like, there is no one in this film that I want to win. I do not care. I think Bruce Wayne's a knob. I think that Alfred is whatever. He's talking about being a secret intelligence dude in Burma, and now he's making fucking Bruce Wayne's toast. Like, I just not care. Yeah, there was nothing. So it just it made it really hard for me to buy into the raised stakes because I didn't give a shit about anyone. So it was heaps of style. Don't get me wrong. I think that technically it was there was some incredible sequences in this film. But as far as who am I rooting for? Who am I rooting for in this film? Do I love Batman? I mean, he's not an anti-hero because he's not quite an anti-hero. But I don't give a shit about the billionaire that likes to play fucking vigilante. I don't know. That was my ugly one. This just the lack of substance, I guess, in the screenplay that was overridden by an incredible Heath Ledger performance and some incredible set sequences with practical effects. There you go.
Okay, I have no ugly, but thank you for that, Daniel.
Get that off your chest.
I feel better. I'm going to have another wine.
He looks 3 kilos lighter.
Couldn't disagree more with everything you said.
No,
but
well, anyway, that's fine.
Fair enough.
This is why we have an open forum. There are no rules here.
No,
not like Batman, who has too many. Okay, so we're going to slide into Morgs's quickfire.
Yes.
Take it away, Dan.
Damo, welcome. Good to have you in for this one. The G-Man tends to run off Whitey a lot on this particular segment, so feel free to riff on it yourself. But Quickfire is the name of this segment. It's a couple of questions we pose that keep some continuity between Born to Watch episodes. The first category is That's Not a Knife from Michael J. Crocodile Dundee in 1986's Crocodile Dundee in that infamous scene where he says, "That's not a knife," which passed over into public culture and is something we still reference today. Is there anything from The Dark Knight that you think has passed over? I'm going to say fuck no for me, but I'm interested in what you guys say.
100% Why So Serious is on T-shirts, memes, everything.
Yeah, I'll get over that one.
All the time.
I think you just shut me up there, Damo. Boom. Yeah. That was a right cross to my chin. Thank you.
The other one that is a meme too a lot is you either die a hero or live long enough to see yourself become the villain.
Yeah,
I see that a lot
and
too.
I fucking thought that was just. I did not think that was clever. I thought that's fucking bullshit. I don't even understand what you're talking about. But no, I like the Why So Serious. That very good call.
Why so serious?
That did take me out for a moment and think, actually, oh yeah, that's cool. But no, the other fucking mumbo jumbo, no, you're not having. All right, next one is Philip Stuckey in Pretty Woman, a la Jason Alexander for the biggest douchebag in a movie. Anyone from this particular film?
Oh, I thought Lau was a douchebag. The accountant, Chinese accountant.
I just didn't give a shit about him. Like,
yeah, but you don't give a shit about anyone in this movie, do you?
No. Well, I mean, yeah. What about you, Damo?
What was that? The guy's name? Reese, the guy who did the audit on the Wayne Foundation.
Oh, yeah, good call.
He wins. The one so
I like how Morgan Freeman shuts him up. That's actually clever.
He's amazing.
And Coleman Reese.
It's not amazing. Why don't you just calm the fuck down? It's not amazing, but it was a good bit in the film. Yes.
Your plan is to blackmail him.
The billionaire who chooses to work as a vigilante in his spare time. Yeah, it's all right.
Your plan is to blackmail him. So good. Yeah, I'm with him. Good call, Damo.
Good call, Damo. Excellent. You're good at this. The cast of Caddyshack, for an actor or entire cast that is not quite sure what film they're in, for me it was Aaron Eckhart. I just didn't like. I don't know if he's just shit or I just didn't like his performance. But yeah, I didn't feel that he quite got the tone of the movie. What do you guys think?
Everyone was on point, and I think they all did their job really well.
Yeah, I thought everyone was in the movie. I agree. I can't,
including Aaron.
I didn't mind Aaron Eckhart. I thought he was.
I thought he was great.
He was a bit of a punish, but I thought
he was the weak link. He was definitely the weak link. I disagree with you guys. It's my segment, so I'm going to agree with me on this. Next one, Ripley running for our all hail, our favourite heroine in movies, Sigourney Weaver. What a fucking boss from the movie Aliens. But unfortunately, she was not blessed with a plentitude of gross motor skills and her running skills. There's a lot going on. What about any poor shows of athletic prowess in The Dark Knight?
Yeah, look, I've got the fake Batman. He was just terrible. It's great. I'm the world, Harry Burns. He was just terrible at everything he did. We're here to help you.
Yeah, what's the difference between you and me?
Yeah.
I'm not wearing hockey pants. It's it. I did enjoy that.
You know, Debo, the Debo from the Next Friday movies, who threw the trigger out the window.
Yes,
the big
Zeus.
Tony Lister, I think his name is. When he threw it out, it hit the crossbar. It hit. You needed to get all net on that shot.
How many takes do you reckon that took?
Yeah, it's like why hit the freaking frame? It could have bounced back in. Yeah. That would have been embarrassing. Yeah.
He's a unique looking dude as well. So
well, his basketball skills are up the shit. Yeah. He's no 3-point shooter.
If I'm the director, I don't know that I'm telling him to do it again and fucking do it properly. So,
don't hit the crossbar. Oh, that'll do.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah. Great job. Yeah. Again, staying with Aliens, robot sentries from the director's cut from the James Cameron masterpiece for an extra scene or scenes that we'd like to see in this movie that tell us a bit more about the predicament that our characters that we don't give a shit about are in. Boys, anything else you wanted to learn about these fucking boring characters?
No, nothing.
Yeah, no, you remember the bit on the boat when Alfred, Michael Caine said, "Oh, could you teach me the Russian for how to apply your own bloody suntan lotion?" So the whole time I'm thinking, well, I hope these Russian girls don't get sunburnt. So I would have liked to have seen all the Russian girls creaming each other up in their suntan lotion. I think we needed to see that.
At what stage do you get over applying sunscreen to the Russian ballet, Alfred? Like, come on.
Well, no, but look, let's...
When you run out of blue pills.
Yeah, Alfred wasn't going to do it. Let's just watch the Russian girls do it to each other. That would have been a good scene.
It could have been, a stroke of genius from Michael Caine on that one.
Michael Caine.
Excellent, agreed. All right, finally... Whitey's Brad Pitt for the actor you'd like to grope for trout in a peculiar river with. And that was a euphemism I pulled from the internet for rooting because I thought I'd got a bit same of late. So grope for a trout in a peculiar river. Anyone in particular you guys like? Damo, you telegraphed a bit of a move earlier on. Whitey?
Okay, let's. I'll go then. Let's go Aaron Eckhart. That bum chin, John Bon Jovi look. I think he's a good looking man. Manly and good looking.
I'd be willing to spend a bit of time on the boat with the Russians.
And
I wouldn't be picky. But the girl in the penthouse party that's getting fresh on the lounge. She looks like she was
Oh,
up for it.
yes.
She looked
A la
like she looked
Die
like
Hard.
easy
With
prey.
the panic room.
She looked like easy prey.
Yeah.
Like I'm thinking that's low hanging fruit there.
Yeah.
Yeah. She probably had a couple bumps and she's ready to go.
I'll accept both. Both except for me, it's Maggie Gyllenhaal because I just really loved her in The Juice. So yeah, all excellent choices.
Secretary.
That was quickfire. Couldn't agree with me more. Over to you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, it's time for listen to this, and we'll talk a bit about some of the behind the scenes stuff. Have you got anything, Damo?
I've got quite a few things. I don't know if you've seen that Tom Waits interview with Don Lane in 1975. He is off his nut, right? But this is where they're saying like Heath Ledger got a lot of his the voice.
Yes.
I might even put a link of that YouTube thing on the Born to Watch. Just have a look. It's an amazing interview, and Don Lane handles Tom Waits brilliantly. When Christian Bale also walks into the movie, into the party with the three girls.
Yes.
So you can see one's wearing cyan, there's magenta, and then there's yellow, and Christian Bale's in black. So that's CMYK. So they're the four colors that is a shout out to the printing process for the comic books. So it's just a little thing that they've done, a little bit of nod there. Two more. Bruce Wayne's Lamborghini. It's called a Murcielago. So it's a Lamborghini Murcielago. Murcielago in Spanish means bat.
Oh.
So he's
driving the bat.
He is driving like a Batmobile, and obviously it wasn't black. Actually, the other week you guys were talking about Helen Razor, Matt Ray, and yes, you mentioned his car was
the dog cock
red. Yeah. So because I've got a car and it's performance blue. That's the color of it. And I was thinking when I bought, I wish there was a dog cock red. It must be a discontinued line or something.
Oh no, it does. It pops up. It pops up.
Does it? Is it?
They're cheaper. They're cheaper.
It must have a real pinkish sort of tinge to it,
hue.
a hue.
Pinky hue.
Yeah. But I know
right on the tip of the bonnet, it's got a pinky hue.
Because when you guys talk about dog cock red as a car color, it killed me. Absolutely. I was like, are you kidding? But and one more, two more actually. Heath's name tag when he was a nurse had Matilda on it. Was the name of his daughter.
Yep. Okay. Well done.
But also the dogs, and Morg's mentioned the dogs in there before. So one of the dogs.
Pancake?
One of the dogs, the Rottweilers, and its name, the owner called it Stains. And apparently because the owner liked to go down to dog parks and yell out, "Come Stains."
Why did I just think of M. Head from The Land and Victor? Oh, wow. Excellent, Daniel.
You got anything, Dan?
I do. Look, just one. The one that gave me the most amusement was there's a town in Turkey called Batman. And they sued Christopher Nolan and the producers because of the negative impact the film had caused to their city. So there's only one Batman in the world, and the American producers used the name of our city without informing us. So needless to say that law case did not go very much further, but thought that was pretty funny. And no, Gal and I never went to Batman in Turkey. We did see quite a bit of Turkey, actually. We actually did an overnight bus ride from the coast in Turkey through to Istanbul to watch the AFL Grand Final with a couple of good mates from Adelaide, which we had just met, and we were fucking tired when we got there, and I can't remember who won, but geez, it's good travelling.
Okay, look,
one of your best.
While they were filming the chase scene on Lake Street, the Chicago Police Department received heaps of calls from the public saying that the police were involved in a hot pursuit with a unknown dark vehicle.
with the tumbler.
Yeah. So
they didn't recognise it?
They didn't recognise it. They're stupid people.
And the cameras and the...
Yeah. So you were saying about Heath Ledger, about prepping for the role. He locked himself in a motel room for 6 weeks.
Yeah.
Right. So this role really did tip him over the edge. There's no doubt. He didn't recover.
And he had a note, kept a notebook with him, and he watched like hyenas and animals and things. And
he combined like Sid Vicious and Malcolm McDowell's character from A Clockwork Orange, Alex.
Right.
As that was sort of his motivation for it. So while filming that same chase scene the chase scene with the Joker in the SWAT, where they do the big truck tip over, they destroyed one of only 4 IMAX cameras on the planet.
Wow.
They destroyed one of them.
It was worth it.
Yeah. So it was an expensive smash.
Where'd they leave the camera? Like in the truck?
Maybe.
Oh,
maybe. practical. But they many believe that this was the last year that there were only 5 pictures nominated for Best Picture. Many believe that it was because of this movie and WALL-E being left out of the Academy Award Best Picture nominations that they extended it to, I think it went to 7 movies, and now it's 10 movies.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
So it was because of these. They think it was because of this year.
Yeah.
So there you go. There's a little bit of a listen to this behind the scenes. Damo, you crushed 1 Degree with Gary Oldman.
Yep.
Okay, well played. And we'll
and also, Hans Zimmer did Backdraft.
Oh, he did too.
Oh,
yeah, good play.
Yeah.
That's called lateral thinking, Damo. Well played.
You go. We go.
Billy Baldwin, the most derided actor, I think, in Born to Watch history.
Yeah, he's hated.
Yeah.
We'll never do another.
Slither.
We'll never do another. We'll never do another Billy Baldwin film. We'll never do another Billy Baldwin
that's
film.
not true.
Lucky
I'd
for
say
us.
Flatliners will turn up on this pod at one stage.
Oh, actually, you might be right.
Wasn't he also like one with Cindy Crawford where he's like a
Fair Game.
Oh, wow.
Fair Game.
He was like a James Bond type or an
Fair
FBI.
Game. It was
CIA guy.
horrendous.
Yeah.
Horrendous. Okay, notable quotables. Dan, you got any?
I do. This one,
look at you
yes,
go.
no, got one again this week. So the quote is, "You boys sure found a way to make the time pass up there."
Where was that?
That was actually Randy Quaid from Brokeback Mountain, which I fucking
bodies.
You boys sure
I'm
found
not
a way to
wearing
make the time
hockey
pass up there. So yeah, I've definitely thrown out the rules on this particular one because there was no quotes in here I gave a shit about. But Brokeback Mountain I love, and Randy Quaid's performance as the land boss that finds the two cowpokes up there doing a bit of poking definitely brought back fine memories. So yeah, there we go.
Damo?
Well, I think we've said a few. The hockey pants I love. I think
amazing.
it's hilarious.
Yeah.
But also like when Batman just does that disappear. You know how he he's talking and then all of a sudden he goes and like the first time he did it with Harvey Dent and Harvey Dent looks around, he's gone and
he does that.
And Gary Oldman just looks at him and went, yeah, he does that. That's it. And when Harvey Dent walked into Alfred and said, any ex-psychotic boyfriends I should know about? Oh, you have no idea.
Yeah. That was good.
But I just love the way Michael Caine delivered everything. Everything he said to me was either funny or it was some sage advice.
Yep. Okay. What about I'll do one. And it's a back and forth. It's when he's sitting down with the gangsters. It's the Joker with the gangsters, yeah. and the gangsters like, what do you propose? And the Joker's like, it's simple. We kill the Batman. And the mobsters laugh, and then Maroney goes, if it's so simple, why haven't you done it already? And the Joker goes, if you're good at something, you never do it for free.
Yeah. He was great. Yeah.
I thought that was really
that
good.
whole scene was great.
That's when he's got the grenade in his jacket, in the thumb. Really cool.
Yeah, that whole scene was awesome too.
Yeah. Okay, that's enough for quotables. And now what is, as Morgs will I'm sure announce, is fast becoming in the top 10 best segments of the podcast. Film school for F-wits.
Yes.
Take it away, Dan.
Look, I don't know. There's been some good additions this week. It may have dropped out of the top 10, this particular segment. But this week, I'm going to look at, I've telegraphed my thoughts a little on this particular film. I'm going to look at the 10
A little?
A little. All right, yes. So it hasn't been a subtle performance by one D. Morgan from the land. But the 10 most overrated films of all time. Now, I was going to choose my own 10, but I thought that's unfair. So I looked into the critic sphere and thought I would go out into the wild west of Reddit to look at what all the Reddit users consider the 10 worst films of all time. So look, we'll go through it super quick, and I'll just get your thoughts on it. So this is in the order as voted by our Reddit brethren. But number 10 was an interesting one, The Greatest Showman from 2017. The story of P.T. Barnum with Hugh Jackman.
Go?
Yeah. Now, this is on huge high rotation at my house with my daughters. So it's something I've been exposed to. I probably haven't seen it from go to woe, but I've seen every single scene on several times. What do you guys think of that? Overrated or a good flick?
I didn't want to see it, so I haven't seen it.
I really enjoy it. I like it.
I know the songs.
I like it. It's not bad. It's not bad.
Don't know. So
bad
look,
idea.
No, I have no interest to see it.
fair enough. No, agreed. Number 9, as voted by the Reddit critisphere, Crash from 2004. Now, I think we've spoken about Crash many times before. Paul Haggis from look, inspired by a personal. He was actually carjacked. That's what inspired this whole malarkey. So, a Redditor describes it as being beaten over the head with an anvil watching this particular film. So, yeah, I'm not a big fan of it. It certainly Marie Kondoed it many years ago. Whitey, what do you think?
Rubbish.
I saw
Damo?
it once.
I've seen it once.
Yeah, I saw it once and never again. Yeah.
Excellent. Next one we spoke about earlier, but Gravity with George Clooney and of course the chick from the one about the NFL with
Sandra
Michael
Bullock.
Lloyd. That's who I'm trying to think of. Yeah.
Speed.
Yeah. Now I almost have to recuse myself from this one because I haven't seen this one in a cinema, but Whitey has and speaks highly of it. Disagree with the Redditors on this one, Whitey?
Yeah, I love it. I think it was one of the greatest cinema experiences I've had. I
Wow.
saw it in 3D. 2013, I saw that and I saw Planet of the Apes, the first one. And they were the two of the best movies I've ever seen in the cinema.
Yeah.
It was incredible.
Wowzers. Damo?
No, I haven't seen it.
Excellent. I like that answer.
At all. You haven't seen it at all. Fuck a duck.
We'll give that a push, Whitey. You've definitely voted for, so
Yes.
I won't side with you or the Redditors. I'll just call it a push. Number 7, The Irishman. So Martin Scorsese's most recent pick, which we have spoken about often about the de-aging malarkey, where he basically paid someone $17 an hour on Canva to do his de-aging process, and then old mate on YouTube got on there and actually put a bit of time into it and made it look good. The Redditors don't like it. What do you guys think?
I think it's too long. I think it's overrated.
It's a bit of a mass wank. I tend to agree. Damo, any thoughts?
Didn't see it.
Yep, excellent answer. Yeah, look, I'm going to give that to the Redditors. It is a little overrated.
Yeah.
Number 6 is a film we've actually done on the podcast, Pretty Woman. I agree wholeheartedly with the Redditors. I do not understand how this is so beloved. Why do you kind of dig it?
I thought what I said was when we watched it, I had forgotten it and I enjoyed watching it, but I don't get how it's one of the greatest romantic movies of all time. And they say hooker too much in it for me.
Yeah. Damo?
No, I do like it. I think it's not unreal, but I definitely think it's a pretty
Great
good show.
soundtrack.
There's that. As well,
I'll
but-
get over you.
No, I will.
I will.
Have you watched that the remake with Jimmy Fallon and Paul Rudd?
Absolutely.
doing
I
that?
put it up. It's up on
Was
the,
that?
it's up
Sorry, I
on the
couldn't
Watch
remember.
Facebook page.
Couldn't
Yeah.
remember who put it up there, but oh my god!
Go West, yeah.
Yeah.
No,
So
I
good.
like it. I like Dick Gear. I did mine. I didn't. Actually, the thing I liked in that movie was the subplot about where he bought the shipyard and was going to build ships. That sort of business side of it. I actually really like that.
He ended up having a heart of gold. He didn't want to be a corporate
I like
raider.
that. Yeah.
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 Okay. Well, I'm going to side with the Redditors on that one. It licks balls. Number 5, The Notebook from 2004 with a couple of favorites there. The Gosling, who a few of myself and a few of the other Born to Watch aficionados have been accused of looking like in the past. And Rachel McAdams, an actor that Whitey
Beautiful.
would definitely like to have a special lie down with. I actually
Definitely.
can't remember this, but it looks pretty shit on the trailer I watched. Whitey, thoughts on The Notebook?
Oh, look, it's not my kind of movie. So I'm going to go with you. I agree. I think it's a bit overrated.
Damo?
It's been on in our house, and I have not watched it.
Yeah.
Excellent.
fan.
All right. It's a win for the Redditors on that one. Number 4, again, James Cameron. He features heavily in these particular lists. At number 4, it's his previously biggest grossing film of all time, which has recently been surpassed by himself. This one is Titanic. Came out in 1997. It's not a film I revisit. I can appreciate the spectacle of what it did at the time. Is it overrated? I don't know. I never rated it in the first place, so it's hard for me to say. Damo, what do you think of Titanic?
I like it. I watched it maybe a month ago. I just thought and I actually really enjoyed it. I don't think I do think it's overrated. I don't think it, it won script
everything,
cool,
on everything.
but it's still, I think it's a bloody good movie and a really enjoyable movie. I liked it. It's a good movie.
It was the
I
first
saw
film
it-
to reach the $1 billion mark before Avatar. So essentially, commercial success. It didn't get any bigger. Whitey, what do you've watched it recently as well?
Yeah, I took Isabel to the movies for Valentine's.
That's right.
Day
That's
to
right.
see
Yeah.
Titanic in 3D. I've watched it twice in 2023, and I enjoy it. I don't mind Titanic. It probably is
Maybe
overrated.
I
It's
should
probably-
give it. Look, I'm going to side with Reddit and Damo on this one that it is
Yeah.
overrated, but I am going to give it another look. So I'll
Give it a
come back
watch.
to you on
It's
that
worth
one.
a
Yeah.
watch. It's pretty amazing.
I'll get the girls involved and I can watch
definitely
that.
do
And
that.
I can pretend it's family time. Get a few points on
Absolutely.
the board. Getting to the top three. Let's speed this up. Grease from 1978. I'm going to say fuck no. I remember this. Yeah, this is a very
Mate.
fond movie experience for me. I've seen it. I've seen it at Damo 4. I've seen it heaps. I'm going to say Reddit fuck off. What do you guys think?
Mate, I reckon I've seen this movie I've seen Grease
Yeah.
100 times.
I'd agree.
I might add up. I might be in the 6-7 mark.
Oh, well, that's 400.
That's 50.
So-
50.
Yeah, no, Reddit, you've got that wrong. That's, I don't know,
Nah,
the youth of today.
please, go
They
away.
Fucking get back on your TikToks and fuck off. Number 2, look, we've all been tortured by this one. Damo, maybe not so much, but I know that Matthew and I have. It's from 2013, the animation Frozen. Let it go, let it go. Look, I don't know. Look, again, this is a film I have not seen from start to finish, but I've seen every single frame from this film on numerous occasions. Obviously, it became a force of nature. Is it overrated? I don't know. I don't know how to rate it. Like, I know that the kids lost their fucking minds for it. So, Whitey, what do you think?
This was released when I had the video shop. I reckon I've seen this movie 50 times. And because I've got kids. I don't think it's overrated. I think it's...
I don't understand how they're labelling it. Yeah,
how can they say it's overrated? Like, it was made for children.
That's
the
it.
children went mental for it. It's not over. I don't think it's overrated.
Calm
I think that's
down,
harsh.
Gen Z or Gen fucking
think it's
whatever you
harsh,
are.
yeah.
It's not everything's about you. This film is for kids, and they dig it and say no. I'm going to say Reddit get fucked on that one. Do not think it's overrated. Look, number 1. I'm actually going to do number 1 and number 1.5. So number 1.5. Not on the list from Reddit, but I'm going to throw The Dark Knight into the mix. So I don't know that I'm going to get any love from you two, but I remember being very excited to watch this film and going to the movies. I've seen it multiple times since. I haven't seen it in a long time. Is it overrated, Damo?
Not at all. I think it's absolutely phenomenal. I love it. It's not my favorite of the trilogy, but I love it.
What's your favorite? Yeah, what's your favorite? Your Rises?
The last one, the one with the denouement.
Is that with Boone? Boone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they're all three are, to me, unbelievably brilliant.
I haven't seen Batman
not
Begins
overrated.
for a long time, so maybe I should
Very
revisit that. Yeah. Whitey, I think I know
No.
your answer, but no,
No,
don't
it's a hard
think it's
no.
all right. We'll agree to disagree on that one. But number 1, James Cameron again. It's come up many times on this particular podcast, but Avatar from 2009. Obviously, I'm in the fuck yeah Reddit. You guys are on point, and you should be on the Academy team with me. Damo, what do you think about Avatar?
I love it. I think it's a great. It could be overrated though, because if it's not
Change
it's-
cinema forever.
It's not the greatest thing I've ever seen, but I freaking love it. Like, I think I scored it around the 4s or whatever. I don't know. What are people? Are they saying if it's rated as a perfect movie? But it's a bloody good movie. I love it. I think it's an awesome movie. I've enjoyed it every time I watched it, and in 3D, it was spectacular.
It changed movies forever.
I think the main
You gave Avatar a 4, Damo.
I did, yeah. I think it's a great movie. I really do like it. But I'm just thinking maybe people are rating it as a 5, and then you could possibly pose an argument that, oh yeah, maybe it's not a 5.
No,
maybe
that's
it's a
a good
4.5.
point. Whitey, what do you think?
I don't think it's overrated. I think
I've never seen it. We've spoken about this before. Look, I think, and I know you two really dig it. I've never come across a film that grossed so much and people saw multiple times, and obviously changed cinema with a lot of the technical stuff that James Cameron brought to the screen. But so so lightly revisited, I guess. So it feels like a lot of people watched it at the movie and maybe seen it twice and then left it alone for 15 years. Like, I don't know, and maybe that's the problem. Me personally, I have no interest in watching this ever again. My kids love it. They really dig it. They love the new one. But yeah, I'm going to agree with the Redditors. So that's me and Reddit, which is 1.2 billion people versus
But
you two.
There is two versions though of this movie. There's the cinema version and there's the movie and the one where you watch it at home on your flat screen on
there's
your little TV.
There's an extended movie.
No. What I'm saying is
There's an
the
extended version,
cinema experience is like watching a far better movie, and then when you go and watch it on a TV, it's not as good because it's just mind-blowingly amazing
I get it.
in 3D.
Yeah, okay.
It's just if you're watching in a cinema, it's brilliant. But if you're watching on TV, yeah, maybe there's an argument there.
Oh, good point. Yeah. No, I like it. That's it. That's they were Reddit's top 10s. Any others that really spring to mind for you guys of the last sort of 20, 30 years that have been high praise, but you don't dig on?
I don't dig on The Godfather.
Interesting take.
Really?
What
that's a good take.
What don't you take on that?
Slow. Well, you talked about you didn't care about these people. I didn't care about these people.
Ooh.
I didn't care about them. Maybe I might go. I might even throw in Pulp Fiction. I just
Damo, it's strange that you mentioned that, but that actually popped up a lot in doing a bit of research for this particular segment. I completely shot it down because I'm a big fan of that film. But yes, it popped up quite a lot in overrated films. So wow.
Yeah. Well,
Pulp Fiction's one of the greatest. Pulp Fiction's one of the greatest movies ever made.
No. So obviously no. Anything though that is there a movie that you think that everyone froths out on and jizzes their pants, and you think you guys are tripping? Go
any Wes Anderson movie?
Who's Wes Anderson?
That's any Wes Anderson.
That's
movie.
A bit of a dick punch.
Life Aquatic, Budapest Hotel. If it's got Wes Anderson in it, it's unwatchable for me. It's unwatchable.
I'm going to have to overrule that, but. You're
do your best.
Definitely. I might even edit that bit out myself. But anyway, that was Film School for Everwoods this week. Well done, Damo. Thank you. Let's move on.
Okay, good one. That was a good one. 10 or 11 or maybe 12 or 14 of the most overrated movies ever,
according to some people,
including The Godfather, which is incredible.
Damo.
So we are moving into Stan Bush kick-ass credit song, and I'm going to apologise because I'm back up on the mic. Gow is away. Dan was tried to flick past it to Damo. Damo wanted to do a 2008 medley, and so this afternoon I quickly put pen to paper and came up with my Dark Knight kick-ass credit song, and it's called Cape and Cowl.
It's called
Cowl.
Cowl.
Cape?
C-O-W-L. What he wears on his face is called a cowl.
I thought that was his box.
What he wears on his face is not called a helmet, it's called a cowl.
Right.
I didn't know that.
So there you go. We learn all the time here.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. Kick-ass credit song. It is called Cape and Cowl. As we have established, the cowl is what Batman wears on his face.
The cod piece is what he wears on his dick.
Over his Prince Albert.
Yes.
Did any? Sorry. When you were showering at Warringah Rugby Club, did anyone run the Prince Albert? Did you ever come across?
No, it wasn't a thing. Wasn't really a thing back in the 90s.
It wasn't real good to play your game.
Because when Gow and I were on our travels at the Williams Lake Rugby Club, the powerhouse of the interior in British Columbia, there were actually 2 Prince Alberts that we saw in the showers, and Gow and I were quite shocked. Yeah, and I just didn't.
Let's be honest though, those Canadians are fucked up.
They've got some big hammers as well, so there was quite a bit of steel that was involved. But I digress.
Yeah.
Okay, and here we go. Digressing from the Prince Albert to the Prince of the microphone. It's me with Cape and Cowl again. All right. Gotham's finest bachelor got a secret inside. In public, he's pounding Russians, broken since his parents died. A life of fighting crime by the cover of dark. They won't know who I am when my voice sounds like a bark. Alfred's my butler, he's a cheeky palmy git. I'm in love with Rachel, but I'll never see a tit. Harvey the DA is way out of his hell. With the help of Jim Gordon, Gotham's crime we will quell. Cape and cow, what a way to make a living. The Joker's a menace, he cannot be forgiven. We head to the streets to bring this Joker down. With a tumbler and a bat pod, I'll turn his smile to a frown. Gotham needs a hero who's mistaken for a villain. Cape and cow, what a way to make a living.
That is unbelievably good.
Oh,
That
well
melody
played.
was
Well
awesome.
played. And I
That was
never
so
thought
good.
I would hear a song with the word quell featured. So, well done. Well done.
Yeah. Gotham's crime we will quell.
Oh, the Bernie Taupin of Born to Watch, Matt Gowan, will be a little bit concerned after that effort. So
Yeah,
his
'cause it was
mantle
good.
may be taken.
I liked the cape and cow bit because you sung that bit a bit slower, and then it just fitted so nicely into that song.
Made it up.
Yeah.
Just as I went then. Forgot the melody,
Cape
made it up.
and cow.
Cape and cow, what a way to make a living.
Listen here, you F-wits out there. You don't have to pay fucking shit all for that fucking magic. Like, just
That's right.
What sort of
Not yet.
content can you get for free out there these days? Like, you just got magic for no dime. Like, fuck you all.
We might be moving Kick-Ass credit song to Patreon.
Is that
Charging people
is that where we need up?
$5 a month. Charging people
That's OnlyFans.
Oh, sorry. I was thinking
Oh,
after.
no, I think you can nude up on Patreon.
You can nude up on Patreon, yeah. We're going to do Discord as well. We're going to do them all. Okay, star of the show. We'll start with the guest. Who you got?
Well, for me, like I said, there's this soundtrack is in my life all the time. But when so Heath died 6 months before the movie came out, and Hans Zimmer thought, no, I've got to tone this soundtrack down. But then he thought, no, the best way to respect the performance, the best way to respect the man was to keep the edges in the soundtrack, the steel, the razor blades, the broken glass. So for me, it's Hans Zimmer and James Newton Howard who came up with the score. They did the first two scores. Hans did the final one on his own. But they are the star. Obviously, Heath was awesome, but for me, the thing that touches my soul, mate, I listen to it all the time, is this score. And there is a thing on YouTube, and I might even stick this up on the your Born to Watch Facebook page as well, just a little link. But it's The Dark Knight Live, or the song's called A Dark Knight, and it is so freaking amazing. And every time I hear it, like, I am just completely filled with emotion. Like it just, it absolutely consumes me, this music. I love it. And for me, when I hear it in the movie, it just enhances this movie so much.
Yeah,
Awesome.
It's hard to disagree.
Yeah, love
Dan,
it.
you?
Yeah, I again with Damo, something a little bit different this week, but the special effects supervisor is a guy by the name of Chris Corbold, and he's the one that actually turned Chris Nolan's sketch of a 18-wheeler articulated prime mover driven semi-trailer into flipping on its nose and turn it into reality. And so he actually tried to talk Nolan out of it. He tried to get him to do a SWAT vehicle or something a bit smaller for the same sort of effect. Yeah. But Nolan was like, no, fuck off. It's got to be a semi-trailer. And Chris Corbold was the guy that was able to actually get it done and not take out any buildings and not kill anyone. So well played, young man. I think that was excellent and just an incredible scene.
Yeah, I think the only CGI part in that flip truck was taking out the
wires,
the mechanism that ramp that sort of propelled it in the air, and that was the only other than that, it's a freaking semi-trailer getting flipped.
Yeah. Incredible,
like, unbelievable. Yeah.
I'm going to go. Look, it's hard not to go Heath Ledger, and we haven't gone Heath Ledger, but I'm going to go Heath Ledger.
Yep, of course.
If you guys had not, if someone had gone Heath Ledger, I would have gone something different. But we've covered all bases.
There's
here.
So many.
Yeah, we've covered all bases here. I'm going with Heath Ledger. It was an incredible performance. It's a shame he's gone. R.I.p. We'll have the Dark Knight forever, Heath, in our hearts. Okay. Final thoughts. I love I love The Dark Knight, and I shall continue to. I know that Damo does as well. I knew when Damo suggested this with the shit that we would get from Daniel, so that was fully expected, and he's brought his A game, I must say. So well done. So we're going to move into the rank bank. Got a couple options here. Got human bombs, so the guy in the jail with the phone he's got.
Yeah.
Cash bonfires.
Yep, also good.
On top.
Pencil impalements.
Oh, excellent.
Michael Jai White.
Pencil trick. Yeah.
The door disappearing pencils could be.
Yeah, it could be disappear.
Dodgy mob accountants or Russian ballerinas.
That's not bad. What about hockey pants?
It's got to be hockey pants.
Hockey pants it is.
It's got to be hockey pants it is. Okay, so how many
I'm not wearing hockey pants.
How many hockey pants, Damo, are you giving The Dark Knight?
Yeah, look, as I said, this movie is part of my everyday life, and I'm talking every single week. It's a 5.
Wow. Okay.
Wow.
That's big.
Yeah, every performance, every bit of dialogue, and of course the score. Yep.
Okay, well, 5. Well done. Perfect film. Geez, we're pumping some 5s out of late.
Yep.
Daniel, how many hockey pants are you giving The Dark Knight?
You know what? Damo's actually, his passion for this film and things like the Hans Zimmer, the soundtrack and the score, he's really made me think maybe I'm being a bit harsh, but I really did not enjoy watching this movie. I was bored as shit. I think I really enjoyed it when we first saw it some 15 years ago, but since then I just couldn't give a shit about anyone in the film, any of the characters. So I had it as a 2 out of 5, which is very harsh. I'm going to change it to a 3 just because Damo loves it so much. But
no, mate, listen, it's fine. 4
no,
out of 10,
I'm going to give it a 3. I'm giving it a 3.
Yeah, okay.
So
okay, right.
So no, I probably won't ever watch it again. I was bored as shit. Fuck off.
Okay. I love The Dark Knight. I'm giving it 4.5. I don't think it's a 10. I don't think it's a 5 out of 5. I don't think it's a 10 out of 10 movie, but it's damn close. It's 4.5 for me. That's interesting where this is going to sit this. 4.17 is the final score for The Dark Knight, and that sits it in equal 17th spot with The Guard, 4.17 Derringers, and Mad Max, 4.17 fuel-injected suicide machines. Just below a plethora of films. Full Metal Jacket, Ghostbusters, Animal Kingdom, The Usual Suspects, all on 4.25.
I would watch all of those films again before I'd watch The Dark Knight.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. We knew that was coming. Just, mate, but you just got to remember, Dan, just remember one thing. Cape and Cow. What a way to make a living. Right?
Mate, I would listen to your song 1,000 times more than I would commit to watching the film again. So, yeah.
So I'll just want to touch on something then, because, you know, like sometimes we miss things that others see and we see things that others miss or whatever. So, like, I watch The Dark Knight completely differently to the way Morgs watches The Dark Knight. So I've got some feedback here. I thought I might be a good time just to bring it up. So I got a message from the president of the Can't Buy Me Love fan club. Dear Born to Watch, go and suck on one of Big John's farts. Right? So, also from the president, like, okay, look, it's me, right? Can't Buy Me Love is and this is what I say, we all think differently, is a gem of a movie for me, right? It has an amazing message. You know, don't go changing, be yourself. Do this. It's an amazing message. It's also so well acted, Whitey, that you couldn't imagine Patrick Dempsey doing anything but a dork. You can't believe he's McDreamy.
He's not McDreamy.
Exactly, but that's how well acted it is. So, but the thing that I noticed most was, and in your film school and in all your talks about other high school movies, I didn't hear you mention Clueless. I didn't hear you mention Mean Girls. I didn't hear you mention She's All That or 10 Things I Hate About You, because that's the lane this movie's in. Now, I just think you guys are watching this from the other side of the road, because that's what I mean. We're all sort of different. I loved it.
Mate,
You guys trashed
it
it.
sounds like if you were on the podcast,
Yep.
what would you have given Can't Buy Me Love?
I love it. I'd give it a 4.
Okay,
Wow,
so hang
okay.
on. So we rated Can't Buy Me Love 1.5. Dump rag berets.
Berets, yeah.
Right now, if we add in the 4
I love
from
it.
Damo,
Seriously, I've seen it like 5
do you know
times.
what? If we add the 4 from Damo,
Well, you don't have to.
no.
Yeah.
I'm just doing this for
Yeah.
this.
Still at the bottom.
I see how upset you are.
No,
It
no.
still lasts. 2.13.
Yeah.
And Roadhouse is 2.17. So we don't give a fuck about your.
Yeah.
your
No, that's
concerns
what
with
I
film.
do give a fuck, and I think of all the films, I selected Can't Buy Me Love because I remembered it very fondly as well, Damo. But it just didn't live up to my heightened nostalgia expectations to revisit. The other films that you mentioned there, I think 10 Things I Hate About You, the other great Heath Ledger performance, which I actually enjoy that movie. But I think the other ones you mentioned were I was too old to appreciate teen movies. So Clueless, I was probably just a bit over the hill to really buy into that.
Mean Girls.
Mean
Brilliant
Girls I have seen, and that's another one I probably should revisit with my girls.
Written by Tina Fey.
But yeah, exactly. Who I really enjoy Tina Fey's bit. But yeah, 10 Things I Hate About You, though, I totally agree. I think is a very, very good teen flick, and it's a subgenre that it becomes less relevant to us as we're able to live in over 50s fucking developments on the Sunshine Coast. So Oasis.
And there's Sunshine Coast too. I also want to bring up the I saw that that tourism commercial, the tourism campaign that Noosa just brought out like 2 months ago. Noosa looks beautiful. You know the one with Michael Clarke and his girlfriend? It looks fantastic.
If you loved The Dark Knight, what are you suggesting, Damo?
Condor Man.
Is that with like
Michael Crawford?
Michael Crawford.
Yeah. He's got the car.
Oh, Jenny.
He's got the boat.
Oh, Jenny.
Yeah, Michael Crawford. He's exactly he's like a Bruce Wayne, but well, there is that.
So I've talked about movies that I used to watch at the library in the school holidays. There was Life of Brian. There was Raiders of the Lost Ark. Condor Man was actually on rotation where I'd go, Mum, can I go to the library and watch a fucking one of these movies that's not at a cinema for free in the library? Condor Man was one of them. Excellent choice, Damo.
The scene with the Porsches, but I like those. I was just thinking of men in. They're not superhero. They don't have superpowers. It's just
he's Batman.
Costume.
He may as well be
costume
Batman.
people.
Yeah,
exactly. So besides Condor Man, there was Dark Man. Do you remember that with Liam Neeson? Right. Obviously, there's Watchmen.
Yeah.
None of them apart from
Dr. Manhattan.
Yeah,
Kick-Ass, which I really enjoyed.
Kick-Ass,
those films.
exactly.
Yeah.
Kick-Ass 1 and 2, Hit Girl. But Kick-Ass 1, like Nicolas Cage is excellent. That may be one of his best.
Man, Kick-Ass I really love, but because it takes the piss out of fucking superhero movies, that's why I like it. Anyway, continue.
Yeah, I love. And my other one that I'd say that maybe you guys probably don't like, and I love Spawn. I think it's an awesome movie. Michael Jai White. I love Spawn. He's such
one of the first comic book movies. That was 97, that.
Yeah, Todd McFarlane. Yeah, stuff. I just think he's just such a cool comic book character.
It's a Sonny Payne love as well.
Yeah, it's the effects and everything. Like John Leguizamo's in it, and I love it.
Yeah,
I think he's such a cool
hero.
Well done.
Excellent.
Well done, Dan. What do you got?
Yeah, it's something that I think that everyone. It's a bit of an obvious choice on the back of this one, but Croupier with Clive Owen from 1998. It's a mystery thriller. It rated 95% on the Tomato movie. So it's about a writer slumming for human truths and real experience as his role as a croupier in the London underworld. So it's a gut-churningly compelling backdrop to look at our darker side. So I think that it's an obvious companion to this particular film as an art house, an art house flick.
It's like Gals
with characters that you care about.
Sixth Sense.
Exactly. So check it out.
I thought you might say like The Horse Whisperer or something.
Clive Owen, Croupier, check it out.
Okay. It's in Morgs' contract that every 12 pods that we have to mention Croupier.
Right.
I'm sure no one has watched it, not even Strangles.
Not even Dark Knight fans.
No. So, if you like this, I think John Wick.
Right.
John Wick is incredible.
John Wick's very raid-like, I think.
Oh, John Wick. Yeah. Well, John Wick 4 comes out this week. Well, it'll already be out because this is... But
You
John
know,
Wick
so
is
just
incredible.
to stop you there. So I actually, all jokes aside, thought about John Wick when I was watching this. So I don't compare John Wick with superhero movies. So it's a hyper realistic, obviously completely over the top. But I think the first John Wick was amazing, and I believe the new one, John Wick 4, is already receiving incredible praise. So I think it's an amazing film, but I don't see the link between that and superhero movies.
No, I'm not saying that it's a superhero movie. What I'm saying, if you like the dark and the grittiness,
one against
and one
on his
man
own,
against the dark
The mob,
side, I think that's good. The other one is Enemy of the State with Will Smith, who's been cancelled. The Tony Scott
Gene
joint
Hackman.
with Gene Hackman. With Gene Hackman. It's again, he's a lawyer who becomes sort of embroiled in a conspiracy and he's on his own. So that's another one. Good sort of actioner. So those two. Obviously, you could say any Batman movie or any superhero movie. But
well, that's I think there was obvious ones too. Yeah,
so I thought it'd get a little bit different. Okay, that's it for this episode. But we're going to do something a little bit different tonight, and we're going to pick the next movie via a number generator on our phone.
Is this Chat GPT?
No, it's not. It's called Number Generator on Google.
Cryptic.
Yeah, very cryptic.
Wow.
So
What
we're going to
could it
pick
do?
a movie a number between 50. This is good podcasting, isn't it?
Yeah.
50
Action packed.
and hold with me.
50.
Hang on, 50 and 271.
Oh,
What?
Jesus.
And I want
Off
you just
what
to
list?
hit on our list of movies. Hit generate, please.
So I'm like Adriana Xenides from across the right.
Adriana, hit generate. So we've chosen, what number did we choose, Damo?
201.
201.
201. Okay. When Harry Met Sally.
Oh.
I'll
One
have
for
what
the
she's having.
ladies.
Yeah.
Nora
One for the ladies.
Ephron.
Nora Ephron, yeah.
Yeah.
Meg Ryan.
Yeah.
Bruno
Billy-
Kirby.
Billy
Yeah,
Crystal,
love Bruno Kirby. Is
Carrie Fisher?
Bruno Kirby still with us?
I don't know. Carrie Fisher.
Yeah,
certainly.
anyway, we'll get on it, Gal. You can sort that out next pod. But yeah, Carrie Fisher.
Okay.
Rest in peace.
So next week is When Harry Met Sally. We thoroughly enjoyed dissecting The Dark Knight, 2 versus 1.
Yep.
In the great words of Spice Girls, when 2 become 1.
Yeah.
And that's it from us on Born to Watch this week, and we'll see you on the line next week. Thank you, Damo.
I'm not wearing hockey pants.
I can tell. Thank you, Daniel.
Good work, team. Great to have you on board, Damo. Speak to you both soon. F-Wits, check it out. See you on the line next week.
Bye for now.
Thank you for listening to this episode of Born to Watch. To join us on our journey into some of our favourite movies of all time, you can find us on all good podcast networks like Spotify and Apple Podcasts.